health experts call toxic masculinity.
Research found the underlying cause for could-be masculinity content culture.
Toxic masculinity, we've sort of heard this phrase popping up. The phrase has gained a lot of attention recently, especially with the Me Too movement.
It's showtime.
I'm no godless Tommy. I fought the Star Spangled Banner.
You bring the cavalry?
Woman, I am the cavalry.
They are my people. I am their sovereign. I love them.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Knock. Stick around.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Masculine Mondays, episode number 36, where we're discussing one of the most underrated yet great, dare I say, a masterpiece worth of a film starring Michael Caine, and Robert Duvall. If you haven't watched this movie, you need to put it on your list because it's something that Hollywood wouldn't dare to write this style of movie anymore. And we certainly haven't seen anything of the sorts in the past 20 years, but that's why we're here. That's why we're doing films like this on Mondays for Masculine Mondays to discuss the importance of masculinity in cinema. And of course, I don't have to do this alone. I mean, I could, but it's just so much fun. It's better to talk about it with a group of individuals that understands the importance behind this, including you in chat here, which thank you for waiting these last 5 minutes. But welcome my panel in between Emperor Goodwin, Isaac556, and Blue Collar Loser. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Yeah, you soul, you're not that interesting.
I mean, I don't know that one man could cover the masculinity of Hub.
That's true.
This is true. Yeah.
Hub carries the masculinity everyone here and everyone that will eventually join. So that much is true. That much is true. Before, I honestly cannot wait to get really dive into this film. But before we do that, if you're new here, anyone help support the stream, hit that thumbs up button, like the stream. It's you know, and do some little thing called subscribe. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, but it does help us out. And if you're watching this on a replay, which I understand everyone can't be everywhere all at once, so just drop a comment. See if you've actually seen this movie, or if there's a favorite part. If you're just a big fan of Michael Caine, Robert Duvall, the lines, the dialogue, one of the best. And as Blue pointed out, scenes in this movie that has 50 million views.
Yeah. Which
is incredible and worth every single second of a view and watch and repeat all the time. So do me a favor. And if you want to learn more about masculinity in cinema, and again, why we do these Monday night episodes, there's a link in the description that goes to a video I did as a precursor. It's only about 6 minutes. I'm sure you can probably spare that, but it gives you an idea of what we do here. Talking about the affirmation, the inspiration, and aspiration that we apply to every character in every single movie that we do. We get a little, fun rating, of course. So, let's say what's up to the people in the chat here. We got Mr. Waylon Bocephus, one of my favorite movies growing up.
And rightly so.
Yep.
Me too. Yeah.
Should be a rite of passage.
Yes.
Mr. Wayfarer says, like and subscribe, good people. Amen. Amen. Rio, evening, sir. How are you doing? I'm doing well, and I hope you are too, man. Good to see you here. Oh, Miss, I was gonna say lovely Waylon. Sorry, that would have been weird. Miss Lovely Rebel Rose, how are you doing, girlie? Good to see you here again. We've got Isaac in the chat. We got Goodwin in the chat. We got Jacob Ironside. Would you like a lesson in being early from Hub?
I mean, if you'd give me the speech first, to be all right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That speech is, as Rose says here, yes, the speech in this is the epitome of masculinity, and it certainly is.
Yeah, we only get part of it.
Right, yeah. So, and again, we have to grow up first, get closer to being a man in order to get that. So, speaking of growing up, we got Mr. Rossi here. Ooh, with the new little avatar E with a rose, a blue rose.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, interesting.
What's that mean?
Is there some sort of significance behind the blue rose, Rossi? But
it could be referring to episode 9 of Stranger Things. That's going to be coming out at any moment, and everything will be fixed.
Yeah, the episode 10 of Star Wars sequels.
Yeah.
George
good to
R.
see you,
Martin
Rossi.
going to be releasing his book just any minute now.
Right. Winds of Winter is going to be coming out at book 6. Absolutely. A wild jerky tonight. Exactly. Yeah.
Goddamn right. Oh, I'm not putting out cheap shit for this film.
Yeah, no, I was like, this stuff definitely deserves the good stuff.
Yeah.
As I'm sure Hub McCann would want.
Yes,
Rossi throws up a super sticker.
It's a rose.
What it is.
It's a rose.
Is it a rose?
Yep.
Okay, if it wasn't, I'd be
It's a rose.
disappointed.
Yep.
So
It's a straight up rose, actually. Not
very
like
erect. Very erect.
very erect rose. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. What's up, Soul Sassa? How you doing, bud? Howdy, gents and chant. We have a female joining eventually. So, but until then,
What time is Leon getting here?
as soon as he's done with the snorkel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has to put his face on and everything.
Right. Yeah. Get the wig going, all that kind of stuff. So, I got to be honest. As I pull up the slideshow here, I haven't watched this movie in quite some time. But again, I always come back to watching certain parts of it. And it's nice that it's not a long film. Again, I think it goes through the story rather well, has a good pace. Not that we're going to really focus a lot on that, but I think in terms of looking at these types of moments in the film with masculinity, like it does a good job kind of getting to the parts that, do mean a lot and make the most sense here. And I think, for anyone that hasn't watched this film, if you do watch it for the first time because of the stream or, you saw the post on X or whatever, again, Leon hadn't seen this movie prior to this point, and once he finally did, he was blown away by it. And obviously, he'll probably share his own thoughts. But a lot of people that I wasn't sure had seen it before. Like Cindy would have been able to join, but she's out of town. But she was saying this is one of her favorite movies too, which again just kind of surprised me. Not just that she can't, or any female can't be appreciative of this movie for what it does, but we are going to discuss May as a feminine character, because it obviously is going to do some disservice. So, we do have some females in the chat. So, and again, if you have any comments about May once we get to her, by all means, share away, because again, there's a good bit of details here that I think are worth discussing. As obviously,
we have two great women in this movie and two very not great women in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm more of a
ironically,
Jasmine fan myself. I like some Jasmine. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
both of them.
Both Jasmine are
Yes.
very, very
That's true.
well
That's
liked.
true. Yes.
So, talking about again, we're talking about Secondhand Lions. I'm not sure how this did in the box office. I want to assume it did well. I didn't check that sort of statistic, but
I don't think it actually did do very well.
To my knowledge, it bombed just because of marketing back then was.
It wasn't what it used to be. But what's up, Gravewalkers? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Hour and 46 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
It ain't fucking around. But the amazing thing is there's really only 3 characters and then some others, but for just having those 3, a lot happens, and there's nothing that really drags, in it. It's very, again, the pacing is good. There's a lot to say in the movie, right? But they don't mess around with it.
Ooh, budget.
If I could just add to that too, I think this is a movie I highly recommend. Take your time and don't use the skip button. The 10-second, 15-second skip button. I'm always tempted to, especially on a rewatch of something you're just freshening up on. I did not skip ahead once on the rewatch for this.
No,
You got to soak it all in.
Watch it all. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is, yes. Fully.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a 5-banger from Jamma Lama. Just came by to say, hey, can't hang. Love y'all. Jamma, good to see you, bud. Appreciate the $5. Have you seen this film? I feel like you probably have, but just want to make sure because we're definitely going to talk about some
Man talk.
clips for you, bud. I got quite a few clips from again some of the very impactful scenes that we're going to be discussing here soon. So I will play those accordingly over time here. But Rossi with the $2, you're dead to me. It's doing better than Stan is, that's for sure.
Yes.
You know. I gotta say, when the part cracked me up when Stan is in the car and she slams on the brakes when Walter jumps out, and he just goes forward and slams
My
into
wife
the
had forgot
dashboard.
and started laughing her ass off, and she at first she was like, "Ooh," and then she started laughing when she remembered who he was.
Yeah,
There were many moments in this movie that are just pure comedy, straight.
Oh
comedy.
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's obviously, could be corny to some people, but it has heart, which lasts it through. So
later, Jamma. Yeah, we'll definitely want to discuss some of those. I mean, just and a couple scenes, of course, to kind of talk about more of again what we look at here. We look at the masculine traits. Again, this isn't everyone, but just a majority of what you look at in the different characters, what they obtain, because it does apply to a rating that we talk about again throughout the movie for basically every character, and certain scenes maybe depending on the scene themselves. But it entails the AIA rating, which is affirmation, inspiration, aspiration. Again, what this does is it helps us separate what looks masculine from what actually builds masculine men. Green is something that means they achieved this. Yellow, partially maybe, right? Red means they didn't come close or they didn't do that. That's something you maybe just wouldn't want to strive towards a goal, again, depending on the character. Again, this movie is very well done. I'd say some of these salesmen and maybe Stan might get a nice little red dot next to some of these ratings. But again, the affirmation is what tells us whether something reinforces a healthy masculine truth for these characters. Inspiration is there to tell us when it moves a character emotionally and awakens again some courage or admiration in them to strive to be better at that point. And again, aspiration means you've actually gone through with it. It means like something they've become what they've strived to achieve through their inspiration. So again, we're going to be applying those to each character. What I say and what I have in the moment that comes up isn't, concrete by any means, because it's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss these things. We're here to figure out if, something is solidified or not. So, it, you'll see if you're new here, but if you're a Plot Mafia member and you understand what we do here, then again, you know why we do what we do. So looking forward to discussing this. Just want to say what's up to Koja. What's up? Did anyone watch the debate between Pearl and Anna?
I don't know what those words mean.
I don't know either. No.
Not entirely sure, but I think I missed something here above. Hold on, let me see. Oh, it's a 5-banger, the Canadian banger from Zaxi going, Secondhand Lions is greater than Daxonar's heavily used tiger suit.
Yeah, there's been more than 2 hands on Daxonar's tiger suit.
Yes.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the $5, Zach. Appreciate it. We'll play this one for you, Zach.
So to make a long story short, Stan, you and me, we could be friends. We could be enemies.
It's important to emphasize your point when
Oh man. And obviously right before that, he's like, "You're lucky." Well, the lion got to you. Jasmine
before
got
we
you
did,
before
yeah.
we did, because
Yep.
you know, the punishment would have been a lot worse than what he currently has. You might think,
They'd
well,
have
damn,
buried him in the cornfield.
yeah, he would have been dead along with the lion. Like, I don't know, lion, just I don't know, man. You better go back to Vegas and not say a damn thing.
That
But,
looks like buckshot, not claw marks. What's going on? I don't worry about it. Don't worry
That's
about
fine.
you know, the lion knocked the shotgun down. The shotgun fired on its own somehow.
Exactly.
You know,
Those old shotguns aren't drop safe. Don't know
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Old
You know?
shotties. You know, you never know.
Them external hammers. What are you going to do?
Slam
Right.
fire, whatever. Don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of the man, or before we do, let's see what's up to a few other people. Molly, what's going on, girl? How you doing? I don't remember ever hearing about this movie. Only found about it by chance. Marketing didn't do it any favors.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're here. And you should watch it, because I think you'd definitely enjoy it.
Well, I think she has. It was just that she, again, it wasn't marketing that got her to see it. She, probably
okay. I see what
stumbled
you
on
mean,
it
yeah.
by like on cable or something like that.
It's good for a rewatch. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is rather convenient. Hey, by the way, so now that your uncle's died, you want to invest in this oil company?
Mm-hmm.
He'll make even more money. Trust me. Good to see you here, Kojo.
Yeah, I mean, the as Gray Walkers and I were talking about the flashbacks are they seem a bit ridiculous because you kind of have the unreliable narrator in Garth or whatever, but it's very much like Big Fish, where that's all these tall tales, and then at the end, no, it was real. They may have been just a little bit embellished, but not much.
Gotcha, Molly. Gotcha. What's up, King? How you doing, bud? Hey guys, I watched this the first time the other night after seeing it was up for discussion. Quite enjoyed it. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Seriously, glad you enjoyed it. The more people I see that have watched this movie, I haven't heard one negative thing about it. So, yeah, and just to talk more about our man here, Hub McCann. Again, he is this mythical warrior. He obviously has a lot of traits between courage, honor, legacy, moral certainty, restraint from violence. Even though we know he can definitely dish the violence out when he needs to, because obviously he says, "I've killed many men because we were fighting wars." Yep. He obviously knows a lot about brotherhood, family, because of his brother and because of taking in Walter. Right, so it really doesn't get any better than Hub. Really. I think he embodies this old world masculinity that's defined by all these traits. And again, he can be super dangerous when necessary, but he still remains disciplined enough to remain, peaceful, I guess, when danger is in front of him, right? Like he could have absolutely just, crushed all four of those, punk greaser kids, but as his brother, says, just go easy on him, Hub. You don't need to.
Just stupid teenagers,
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the good learning opportunity, a good teacher to kid learning opportunity here. I think that's what's super important too, is that he understands that, young boys, teenagers, they need stories, right? They need boundaries and examples in order to become men, right? Like that speech that we hear him say to Walter, that we can see him giving it to the four young men. After he's already brought them to their house, and before they leave, he's like, no. There's one.
He's got to give them first aid. We got to put the stakes on their face.
Right, stakes on their face.
Pretty bruised up and all that. But yeah, we're gonna have a talk.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, and this is the idea of the for so many generations, young men. You hit puberty. You stop thinking. Your brain just basically goes into vacation mode, and you're running around. But the thing that kind of keeps you in line is fear of older men, because they were properly dangerous, right? The when I was growing up, if if I decided I was going to lip off to some grown ass man, there's a better than even chance that he's killed someone in war.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to look at me and be like, son, I ain't here to front, and I'm not
Yeah.
looking for status or whatever. I'm just going to put you down.
Yeah. I'm not here to waste any time. I don't have.
No. You will just cease to be a threat. And oh, by the way, you need to learn some respect.
Yes.
And I'm here to give it to you, because that's what older men are here to do, is teach young men how to behave, especially fatherless men, which is also a key point of this movie.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Exactly. And this comment here from Soul Assassin, 100,000%.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Like, this is like everyone. This should be a movie that people watch in high school. Like, if I were a teacher in high school, I would be by mandatory. There would be a test on this movie. Like, I'd be like, we're gonna write everyone has to write a paper on why this movie is important as an English teacher. Like, I would, and it would be heavily graded. It'd
be like, okay, those sex ed classes where we divide up. Okay, boys, you're going to be watching Secondhand Lions as part of your training.
Yes.
I think this. If I could wax philosophical for 1 second, I think this
absolutely
really leans into the need that young men have. We can all relate. We need something to aspire to. We don't need our heroes. We don't need people to come down to our level, especially when you're in that young, teenage pubescent era. The last thing a young man needs is for the world to come down to his level. You need, like you said, you need that heroic old man figure, the kind that could kick your ass if need be, of course. But you need something to rise up and aspire, meet the fight, even if you're not there yet. Like you said, when you're soon to be a man. But that's where we're so wrong now. With storytelling, is especially when you get women, of a certain persuasion involved. What did they call it? The self-insert. They need to make them look like them. That's where we're wrong. That's where we're wrong as a society. I want to become Batman. I don't need Batman to turn into me, essentially, as an analogy.
Wait a second.
I think this entire movie and Hub in particular. I mean, the idea is aspire to be better, right?
Yes.
You're at this level. No, we're not coming down to your level. We're telling you need to step up. Here are the things, right? And this is what being a man is all about. And specifically when it talks about you have to believe in something, right? And you have to believe in, and even if it's not true, the idea that good will always defeat evil, that these things, right? These greater the belief in things that are greater than you, and truisms that will carry you through the hard times, instead of the kind of cynical postmodernist deconstruction of everything and I'm the center of the universe. Nah,
it's anti-nihilism, this movie, in my opinion.
It's about life.
It's beautiful, what we need.
Even has a bad toxic mother figure, which I was told by Hollywood the past 10 years that only men leave their children, and men are pieces of shit. There's no bad mothers ever, according to Hollywood.
Well, this is clearly the patriarchy made this movie. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. I watched this in elementary school. That's awesome, dude.
Me too.
Radman, add it to the list, bud. You'll appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I would say this movie is probably more important to watch than like Predator. Dare I say it?
Oh yeah.
So
I would say it's more than The Patriot, even personally, in my opinion. And I hold that very high, but I put this a notch higher.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Again, for someone else who hadn't seen the movie up until recently. What's up, Mr. Man? How you doing, bud?
Sorry, I'm late. My screen ran a little bit long, but
all good,
it
man.
was absolutely worth it. It looks like, I assume, is Hub the first character you're focused on? I assume I missed too terribly much.
Yep.
Hub is the first, as it should be. But
the main thing we said is that it's a shame how many people didn't hear about this film just because marketing budget. This film, by all accounts, wasn't really box office success, because that's what we're talking about now. For so many films over the past 20 years, more people need to talk about these great classics that no one really knows about.
Well, so it's funny because you mentioned that I had never seen this movie, and you're right, I hadn't. And the reason was because as a kid, it was actually the marketing. I knew of this film, but it looked, at least from my memory, the marketing was just like another generic, oh, young kid goes to live with old people, learns the values that a lot of the older generation has, which which is a great message. But it's a movie we've seen time and time again, so it didn't ever stand out from the way it was marketed. So when I went to watch it today, I was expecting good masculine values, but I was expecting a relatively mid movie in terms of just like genericism. Didn't know that there was any of like the Life of Pi sort of showing the past and having almost a fairy tale epic aspect to it, which was so fucking unique. I don't know if this is masculine to admit or not. There was a couple times in this movie that literally brought tears in my eyes. I was like, holy
absolutely.
fuck.
100%.
Yeah,
100%,
this
man.
movie was great.
And as I've said Leon a million times, watching this came out when I was 20, and then again watching it yesterday again for a second time with my kid. Watching a film
it came out when Gilliam was 120.
Well, it's that.
Well, I mean, if you leave off a few significant digits, that's true.
Yeah, but how many films are you watching a film a second time as a father? It hits you differently watching this as a dad.
Honestly, I am glad I didn't see it as a kid for that reason, because like that's. As a father, that's really the only way I look at movies now. Not the only way, but like that's a key driving force. Like I know Goodwin loves to talk shit on T2 and whatnot. Look, I loved T2 growing up as a kid, whatnot. But first time I ever watched it with my own kid, it hit different. So yeah, I agree right there with you. So my first time seeing this was looking at it sort of through that lens, and I mean. I know we're reviewing the masculinity of the film, not the film itself. But I mean, I could do a review of this film because it was so it was not what I was expecting at all, and I mean that in just like the best possible way.
No, absolutely, and I agree. Like again, it had been a while since I watched it, and been wanting to talk about it for a little while now. It's like I definitely need to add it to the list for this year, but yeah, and again, I don't know if it's just getting older and looking at life through a different lens to a certain degree, that when you watch this movie, like just the way it's stylized, but again, just like I love watching these movies again that I've watched 100 times or maybe not in a long time, but just again looking at the masculinity behind the things is always adding this fresh take, but you always recognize something new, something different than the last time and the previous time. But I agree, Leon. Like, there's definitely moments in this movie that can get you choked up for like the right reasons, of course, right? It's not like, oh, you're just being a pussy. It's like no, like this is genuinely like you see, which is one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, which we're going to talk about that scene in particular. But when Hub gives part of the speech to Walter. And
that was one of the times that got me.
The time between, again, like I know it's like the direction and just great acting from Robert Duvall, but you can see him like just like it's hitting him, that true love is hitting him where it hurts the most. Because as he states, like I've only ever loved one woman. And just gives that kid
when the fight when he's like, I'm the kind of love that a flea like you could never experience, right? And you're just like, he's about to fuck that kid up.
Yeah,
since I was on stream, I don't know if you mentioned it or whatnot, but because I imagine this is something that you would bring up. This is a very similar movie in terms of masculinity that you get from Bubba Hotep, which is again I wasn't expecting, and so it's. Man,
I would say there's like three movies that are in kind of similar vein. There's Bubba Hotep and Big Fish, all different kind of tones and points of view and messages that they're trying to send, but all very effective. The interesting thing about this one is you view it and you kind of go, yeah, this is as a kid you should see this or whatever. As a man, you should see this because the idea of Hub. Losing Jasmine and just essentially I'm going to do action stuff, but now he's dealing with the fact that he's no longer capable of the things that he used to be, and he's now floundering a bit in finding meaning in life, and it is pretty clearly looking for a way to check out, which is why he orders the airplane, and the fact that Walter does the deal with him. And he's, it's like, no, wait a minute. No, I didn't agree to that. And nope. And he plays him, but it's that need to rediscover constantly the what you can do. You're not who you were. You're someone different. That doesn't mean you stop.
Right.
having to find things to contribute and people to live for and care about.
Well, and I think so. I'm kind of jumping ahead here because I imagine there's going to spend a lot of time be spent on Hub, and understandably so. And as you're watching, I kind of like as I was watching the movie, I got the vibe that Hub would be the character we probably dissect the most. But I actually think that Garth is probably going to be very underrated and also still very relevant to the conversation because I think that Garth, like these are, there's the phrase that's usually used in a romantic context that opposites attract, but like this is the masculine version of opposites attract between Garth and Hub. And I think that, like you can't understate Garth's masculinity as well. So I also can't wait till we break him down.
Yeah, they're very complimentary.
Yeah,
no, exactly. And I think as we go into all of these scenes, Hub will definitely be a focal point here. But yeah, let's talk about the other brother, Garth. Again, he's definitely quieter, and he has a lot of the same traits, of course, that Hub has, because he does believe in family care by the end. Right? He's very patient. He's honorable. He has a lot of legacy behind him as well. He is that, he does provide that moral stability. And I think what he represents in masculinity is through like his steadiness, his kindness, except when he's obviously scaring off salesmen with the shotgun, which rightfully so. But he has that quiet strength that, like, especially when you hear these stories, it's like, it's a lot about Hub, but you just think like, yeah, but Garth was right there by his side at the same time. Like he went through all that as well. Maybe not the romanticism that Hub did, but I think Hub has this fire, and Garth is sort of like has this foundation.
I would say, Garth is the rock.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
He's the calm, but also he knows Hub well enough that you don't just go directly at Hub. What you do is, like with the gardening stuff, he's basically,
What's up, Anthony?
doing the curse by giving you what you asked for, right? Oh, we're retired. This is what retired people do. They garden. They do this, and it's driving Hub nuts. He's throwing. But Hub's the one that's like, well, we're just useless and all that. And he's like, okay, well, they're going to be retired. We're going to do this stuff, right? It's the clever manipulation. Yeah.
Because people use manipulation as a pejorative, but everyone manipulates people, and oftentimes to positives, to negatives, whatnot. Manipulation is not inherently positive or negative, and like this is absolutely positive manipulation. Also, completely unrelated to the masculinity aspect, I was so floored. The guy that got to play young Garth, holy fuck, is he kind of a perfect young
Garth. He's not even Caine young. He's just Garth young, but has some physical similarities. But the way that he plays it and all that is very much the character.
I like the blackface too. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Blackface is always funny. Yes,
it is.
Then it's try hard. When Brittany Vindy's doing it, it's try hard and indulgent. But
she's already halfway there anyway. So what's the point?
Right?
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, as me or as Michael Caine, this is like his least Michael Caine accent too. I can understand.
I only got his accent drop once. I was listening to the whole movie.
It's just amazing hearing Michael Caine
was at the Lions funeral when he because he says like one line of dialogue or something when after they buried the lion, and you could hear his accent sort of slip through there.
Yeah, like you can, if you listen close enough, like he does it the accent well enough that it masks it, right? I think I only caught like once, maybe twice, where I'm like, kind of got a little more Michael Caine, but
he still has the same kind of cadence that he normally speaks with, but
that also works because a Southern accent has kind of a similar cadence to a British accent. That's why you got a lot, like when British people play American actors, like in Walking Dead, for example. That's why they often do the Southern things. There is that similarity.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much of the drawl that you would, whereas Robert Duvall's better at that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're worldly and educated, even if they were a bit wild and whatnot. So they wouldn't necessarily have the drawl because they've been away from Texas for so long. So that also
they were in the French. They were in the French Foreign Legion too, and they were overseas for decades in Africa and all over. So they were not in Texas for decades. They were across the world.
Yeah, their speech patterns, their dialect, the tone would have definitely altered over time, depending on how long they were in different places, right? Like the people that they spoke to. So, but yeah, I would agree. Like he's again, he definitely checks all the boxes for being, fully masculine here.
I'm actually very impressed by you because I was real worried. I knew you were going to give Hub all three, but I was worried you were going to give Garth only one of them was going to be yellow. No, I think the Aspiration I was worried would be yellow. I was like, no, all three need to be green for both these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was like, I can't give a green, I can't give a yellow to Garth here in Aspiration because it would be a disservice and it just wouldn't make sense because, again, like he's there through all of it, and obviously he didn't experience everything that Hub did, but he's still there, experience it almost, no pun intended, but secondhanded. Just in the way it's like by proxy, he's seeing everything. Again, he's that rock, that foundation for Hub. He's the calm that allows him
their separate ways. Because he mentions they go their separate ways for a while. They both stay in Africa. He's still doing his own shit in Africa. He's still roughing it. It's not like he's living a life of luxury, or nothing like that. They don't have the money yet, so he's still like got his own sense of agency and identity to be doing his own thing, in more or less a leadership role in Africa, even if it's not action oriented or whatnot.
Right. Secondhand Leon is what they call him at the glory hole after his first.
Vex, I have way more self-respect than to use a glory hole. I want them to know that it is me that they.
That's right. Yeah. The band totally overwhelms any glory hole.
Vex, have you seen this? It's curious. I feel like you have maybe, but
I'm gonna bet she hasn't.
We know someone who hasn't, but she will not.
So imagine if Nadia had seen it, but not Vex.
That'd be crazy. The Earth would definitely have tilted a bit. No denial, I see. Oh.
See, she is not.
I have not. Yikes. Add it to your list, please.
And put it really high up.
Yeah, like
recommended. Yes.
Whatever movie you're gonna watch next,
it's not as good as Secondhand Lions.
Yeah, guarantee. Especially if it's recent. I'd say if it came out before this movie, maybe, but even then, probably not.
By the way, did anybody think it was strange? Did anybody even notice? So I Googled Secondhand Lion cast. Doesn't show Robert Duvall till almost the very bottom of the list. I watch it on YouTube and you pause and it shows you the cast listing. Robert Duvall's name is not there at all. Is there a reason that Robert Duvall is not like being given credit for this shit? Because when it was released, he was second booking to Michael Caine. Obviously, his name was all over it. That's not the case now. Google this movie, and his name is almost nowhere to be fucking found unless you look like near the end of everything.
I mean, IMDb, he's listed as the top 3.
All right, well that's good. Yeah, Google and YouTube didn't have his name. So YouTube didn't have his name there at all, and Google didn't have it until like third to last, even after all the bit parts.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Leon's right. I'm looking right now because first person is Haley Joel Osment, followed by Michael Caine, Kira Sedgwick, Josh Lucas. Yeah, he's not until the fucking third.
You have to click the show more to get to Robert Duvall on.
That's insulting, man.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It's fucked up.
Like the key character, the man. At least one of the man. It's not listed.
Yeah,
and the first.
They're trying to erase Hub. That's what they're trying to do. All right, that didn't happen.
It shows Hub. It shows Rose out. He's in the 4th row down from all the other every actor in the film, but Hub is. Damn, guys.
Yeah, never mind that he's in it more than anyone else.
How you doing? Have you seen Secondhand Lions? Vex, I'm not gonna lie, you not seeing this is good.
That's true.
Yeah. No, Vex, you definitely should see this. Absolutely. We're definitely talk a lot about the McCann brothers because obviously Walter would be lost without them. So there's a lot of importance here. I will say Walter was definitely a character that I was a little unsure of in certain degrees, but I gave him all yellows. Now, I think maybe Aspiration could be green by the end of the film. When
you say by the end, do you mean by the end of child Walter when we see adult Walter?
Adult Walter.
Okay. Yeah, I would think it would stand to reason that all 3 probably could be green by the time he's an adult because Hub presumably gave him the man speech and he learned from him.
Yeah.
We don't actually see it in the film though, so you don't actually get like that. There's no confirmation, but I mean, considering the message of the film, you would hope that he's all three by the time he's an adult, because that is Hub's whole goal.
Yeah, I remember wishing that there was some sort of like deleted scene out there that actually showed Hub giving the rest of the man speech to Walter when he leaves, like he graduates high school.
I had that thought, but then I'm
can't
actually
have
glad it's not there.
No,
Because
it's got to be left to the imagination. It's the,
I know.
one thing that he gives is the idea that you have to believe in something, even if it's not true.
Yep.
Which, by the way, is while Hub and Garth are like obviously the masculine characters, the ones that the movie really relies upon, the arguably best moment in the film, at least in my opinion, is when his mom and Frank or whatever his name is,
Stan.
Stan show up and like they're telling him that they were bank robbers, that and the other, and he believes them, but he chooses to believe what he thinks is the lie. He's like, no, they couldn't have been bank robbers. They were in Africa, and even at that point, he doesn't believe it, but he believes it because that's it's very smart. How
and you get the moment where he actually has to decide, what am I going to believe? And then his next line is, prepare to defend yourself, and whack, kicks him and runs.
Yeah. But also, again, it's a scene completely devoid of Garth and Hub, and I think it's the most impactful scene in the movie for the message sake.
Who's it better to side with, too? Your uncles, your great uncles, or this random dude that your mom just met, too, that seems kind of scummy? I mean, this random guy you just met's making all this up, or your uncles that have been essentially taking care of you all summer, Well,
I mean, he's
with my uncles,
Yeah, but he's very connected to his mom. He knows. He knows that she's lied to him and all this stuff, but she's back and all that, and then they're giving a plausible explanation for why they have this wealth. And okay, you could believe that they did all these crazy things in Africa, or the bank robbers.
I also think even as a kid, he understands his mom is an overly emotional, manipulated woman too. That might be needy. I'm not to say he's looking into it that much, but he might be like,
that's true. You gotta remember,
boyfriend.
The movie gives a very smart reason why he should believe the mom. It's when he does eventually actually discover the money, it's not gold coins.
It's all cash.
So he says, he's all like, does this look stolen? So there's actually a reason for him to believe the bank robber stuff, because again, that's a very smart scene.
Yeah, and they're bank bags that the money is in, and I think they're from different banks. So you can look at it and go, hey, whoa, this kind of lines up.
That's true. Okay, yeah, good point.
Yeah, it could again for a kid's curiosity too, right? Like was he 14, I think, right? Like, so
yeah, he's 14.
At that age, your mind's going to wonder, like, oh my God, maybe they did rob Al Capone, like that lady said, right? Like, it would kind of make sense, like, yeah, we're going to steal some money from Al Capone. Yeah,
remember, Garth also says that, those stories you just want, because he does, and they lived happily ever after or whatever. He's like, wait, that wouldn't work. And Garth keeps it, why do you want to hear these, these silly stories or whatever? Because Garth is kind of presenting it like he's making it up. And there are times where Garth does have to kind of correct himself when he gives himself a bit too much credit. And Haley Joel Osment's not buying that.
So we're trying to think. You think that was, I didn't help Hub at all? Wait a second. And he showed Hub actually did.
Yeah. But I agree with Molly's comment though. Like he was definitely starved for his mom's affection. Like and it was.
She's got about 18 last names.
Right. And like you hear about that, right? Like you hear him, what about this? What about this? And she's like, are you in trouble, young man? Like he's definitely in some kind of trouble, because you got a mom that has been lying to her son for God knows how long. So he doesn't even know what lie to believe anymore.
Yeah. Well, this is a very like anecdotally, even though, as a man in my 30s and watching some masculinity aspect, I kind of tried to put myself in Walter's shoes, because my mother was very much this individual. She was always running off with scummy men. She was always lying to me, my siblings. She was, drug addicted, all that sort of stuff. And it was like, I very much saw the emotional, because the movie wants you, and rightfully so, to think of Walter as like this weak little boy. So much so that when he's introduced to the uncles, they're like, there's like, we're not taking care of no sissy boy or something like that. It's like he justifiably is a sissy boy because of the lack of masculinity, the lack of men that have been in his life, the way that his mother is. She's not even a good mother, let alone a good parent, or a good parent, let alone a good mother, however you would say that. And like it's I was watching this character, like, fuck, this kind of was me at 14, and I think it's a very well written film. Like, even without the masculine aspects, it's just a very well written film.
Yep. No, I agree. And
the spinal confrontation with her is not it's not, recognize me and all that, it's for once make a decision that's about for me that that you put aside your selfish behavior and your neediness and do the right thing for your child.
Yeah, that's also true. Grave Walker's like, I wouldn't say he was a stupid kid. He definitely needed, and you hear him like throughout the course of this movie, he's looking for structure. He's looking for meaning. He's looking for things that, again, male figures can only provide. And that's why, having,
you're looking for the role model.
Exactly. I was going to say that you're looking for that role model. And, obviously he's got no father. So who's left? Well, your two great uncles that have one hell of a backstory. So,
and as Rose is saying, it's mutual experience, right? That Hub and Garth also become more manly in their connection with a certain family member, and now that it's not just us anymore. Okay, we got to do it for the kid, and that's what stopped Hub from building the airplane to kill himself.
Exactly. Yeah, Walter offers Hub the one thing that Garth can't, which is like, Garth is obviously trying, like we said, with the gardening stuff earlier and whatnot. But Garth and Hub, they're peers at the end of the day, and there's for Hub to have a reason to continue, he needs someone to mentor. He doesn't need a peer, and like that's, again, Walter offers the one thing that Garth can't to get him to keep going. It's goddamn, it's such
an investment in the future. Again, this is why when you have a family, you stop just worrying about your lifespan and the things that are only going to affect you. You now worry about the next generation. You become more invested in the long term, and that's what happens with Hub.
Yeah,
but also he doesn't change them too much. Like, at the end of the movie,
it's just enough to give Hub is going to be okay. I am who I am now, right? I'm not the man that I was. I can't do that anymore because I'm less than that. And so he's looking for a reason to keep going, a way to contribute, to have meaning in life. Hey, great, he's got one now. That doesn't mean that he suddenly, because here I'm going to have tea parties and all that. No, hell no.
Right.
I'm me. What can I do as me? To contribute.
When adult Walter reads the will and it says, "Just bury us the damn lion," Hub wrote the will because of the way it's phrased. The damn lion.
Yep.
Like,
leave it all to the kid.
Yeah,
leave it all to the kid.
The kid gets it all.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. They see the value in him, which it almost seems like it's for their own game. But having the kid here might piss off other relatives. Well, you know what? That's okay with us because we'd rather have the kid here than anyone else. So that's fine. And obviously, like he even says to Hub, for the one salesman's like, no, let's see what he has to say,
and then we'll shoot him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So like he kind of plays into like what they're all about on the porch, but turns out it's like, oh my god, I don't want my kids around the guns. We'll take it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what I want to be around.
Yeah, he's a smart kid that's without direction, but like that's just like, and that's kind of the way the real world works. Like, it doesn't matter how smart you are if you don't have direction, but if you can find that your direction, then you can use those wits, those smarts, and you can have them refined. Iron sharpens iron, and he's small iron, they're old iron, but they sharpen each other. Again, it's
I think the other thing is that you can if you had no real male role model or guidance, you can figure out how to be a man. But trust me, it's a much harder row to hoe and a more painful experience. You will make a lot of the bad mistakes when they actually matter and cost you than learning it when you're young and you're a kid and you kind of get to play with the covers on the gutter.
And assuming you learn it all, because also if you don't have that role model, you might fuck up and whatnot, but then you have to actually learn from it, which a lot of motherfuckers don't do.
Yeah. Again, you can. Doesn't mean you will, but you can. But it's a painful process.
Yeah, I'd say that shows a lot about Walter as a character because he's 14. We're not sure anything about his dad's backstory. Did his dad die?
He's dead.
He's dead? Because she never mentions that, does she?
Yeah. It says that it's when they're first coming in.
Okay, yeah. And then he says to his mom, he's like, okay, so where are you going this time? So this is not the first time she's done this shit to him. Could you imagine she's dropping him off just random people's family members' houses for weeks or months?
She dropped him off at an orphanage, it said at one point in the film.
Yeah, he was at an orphanage at one point.
Yeah. So by all accounts, he could see these two uncles like, hey, I could be a scumbag and find this money and just rob my uncles and just take off. And it shows that he's a really great kid with no real parental figure. Like he's turned out pretty well considering.
Haley Joel Osment, I've never really... I don't know that I've seen a lot of his stuff. I know he's a famous child actor. Obviously, I've seen The Sixth Sense and whatnot. I know he's been in a few other movies. He was always lauded as being this great child actor and whatnot. Now, frankly, as someone who's not particularly a fan of The Sixth Sense, I never really saw it. This, I think, might be the first like Haley Joel Osment movie where I'm like, fuck, this motherfucker can act. Like,
I just put two and two together now that you mentioned that. I didn't know that was him from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool.
This oh god, he was in wasn't he in the episode of The Boys?
Yeah.
And in season 1, right?
No, season 2.
Is it season 1 or season 2? Is it season 2?
Yeah, his character gets killed.
Yeah. Okay. It's like I partially remember that, but
he was oh, go on, my bad.
I was like, I think of all the movies that he's in, this might be like it might be his best one.
We figure, well, he goes from Sixth Sense then to Pay It Forward, AI, Secondhand Lions. Then he's basically gone for like 2 decades.
AI.
Yeah, after that, he's gone for like 2 decades because AI was.
The reason he's gone for 2 decades is because he had constant work being the main voiceover in the character Sora and Kingdom Hearts. So he was Disney doing.
What's I'm saying, like in terms of being on screen as an actor. Not that he quit, he just wasn't. He was known as a child actor. Then we see him again as an adult. So
he was in a good movie called Sex Ed. But again, I just performance-wise, this might be his best work. Holy shit!
So he's got to be pushing 40 now, right? I mean, at least
37.
37. Okay, yeah.
37. Yep.
He's getting old.
Yep. Well, he'll be 38 this year in April. I mean, look, he was obviously good enough as a child actor to maintain a bunch of work. Whether it be cameos here and there, a smaller role, but obviously being like a voice actor, obviously it was good enough, but
especially if you're a voice actor for Disney, from what I hear, they pay.
Yeah, right, exactly. I didn't have a great parental figure, and I had to figure it out on my own and look up.
That's true.
Boy, that explains a lot.
Yeah, if he'd had a father figure, I mean, he might have realized he should grow tall.
Zach says he likes him in Home
Alone. He wouldn't simp for Vex and Cinny. Father would tell him not to simp.
I would just quickly reflect back on the meaningfulness of for the old man to also have someone to mentor. It kind of reflects to me. I was thinking of a Paul, like Saint Paul, Apostle Paul, and Thomas. If you ever read the New Testament and stuff, kind of like the hard and grizzled man. He's been through life trials. Then here's this young guy. You never had a son, but here's someone you could take on like a son. And just in Paul's letters and stuff when he's speaking to Thomas, it's like not just am I grateful for what I can do for you, but this has been a great privilege. For me and a blessing. And it's definitely, it goes both ways. And I think the movie frames it very well. So I was thinking that the whole time, like Paul and Thomas kind of dynamic a little bit. So
no, for sure. That's a good observation, Isaac. We're going to talk a lot more about Walter here in the coming scenes, but I want to just briefly talk about this woman or lack thereof. I didn't put any traits because I'm like, I don't really have anything good to say about her, honestly. I mean, especially when you get scenes like this.
We manage. What's going to happen to him? A man like that's got no business being around your boy.
Well, of course not. What kind of a mother would I be? I'm going to drop him off in Las Vegas.
I've
Stupid
never.
bitch.
Maybe someone more worldly can clue me in. Goodwin. Has there ever been a movie where Kira Sedgwick didn't play a royal fucking bitch? Because I've never seen one.
It's it was kind of because when my wife when she was like, she always plays these characters, but she does it really well.
She does do it very well. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I can't think of a Kira Sedgwick movie where she's not either a bitch, an airhead, or an airheaded bitch.
She was in Phenomenon with John Travolta. That's one I'm like there.
I don't even remember that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Did she have any redeeming factors whatsoever in this movie that big through like at all? Like as a mother specifically?
At the end.
At the end.
Yeah.
At the end, she let him go. Yeah. The fact that she lets him go back to live there. And I mean, she probably realized, number one, like they actually enjoyed having him. It was, and she probably also looked at it to her gain too. Like it's one last thing for me to worry about.
I know. See, that's where I would disagree, because there's a reason that she keeps him around. She needs attention from somebody, and needs to be meaningful. And so, but she knows damn well. I mean, she's run through 800 men. She knows better than that.
It's true. It's recent.
By 800.
Yeah. Well, also that, and tagged a few of their names just to go ahead and use them occasionally. But so she keeps him around as kind of the yes, she I'm gonna pay all this attention to you, but it's because she needs the attention, she needs the affection, and so you can very much see her going, no, I have to keep you by me, because then I get to play mother role, and then you give me attention, and that feeds my ego and fills the empty hole that I have, in my personality that can never be filled.
And she's the type that tells all her friends of how good of a mother she is and all the things she does.
How she had to sacrifice and all that.
Exactly. Yes, I slaved away for you.
Yeah. There's some Munchausen by proxy all over that shit. Yeah.
And y'all keep reminding me how I should not call my mother. Thank you.
You're more than
11 years, 13 years. Let's see if I can make it 14.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Oh, sorry. I totally skip some scenes here. Oh gosh, shit.
Nah, you're in some fading crimp.
Sorry. You know what? We're gonna skip May for a little bit. We're gonna talk about Jasmine the lion,
the real woman,
and one of the women in the show. And I kind of put her and the old stories together, because I do feel like the old stories could be an embodiment of a character. They make up obviously two different characters between the McCann brothers, but I think if you look at what they were looking for within the lion, right? Like to as part of them living and not being retired. But even with this lioness also portrays is just like,
I mean, she might as well just be the sister of Hub and
yeah.
Garth.
I was gonna say she's like a relative of them. Like, I'm old. I was part of a circus. I went through all the acts. I definitely am all over this shit. So you know what? I'm just gonna chill here. But the part when she gets let out by the other little hoodlum kids, and she's walking through the corn stalks, like, as Hub says, like, this is like the first thing or the thing that's closest to home that she's ever probably realized, so there's something about her being back in this habitat, this nature, that just felt comforting to her being there as well.
Well, the introduction to this character is like, you ever seen one of those like mob movies where like your main mobster is he's an old guy, been out of the game for a while, and like the young dudes break in to murder him because it's he knows too much and whatnot, and the old guy's like, thank God, finally do it. And it was like, well, now I don't wanna. You took the fucking fun out of it. Like,
yeah.
That is this moment with a fucking lion. It's so good.
Yeah. As Grief Walker said earlier, like, Walter realizes like it's no sport shooting a lion that's just laying here like peacefully yawning in a crate. Like, it's just like, yeah, what's up, old guys?
Walter's like, well, can I have her? And like, yeah, you fix her up, then we can shoot her.
Right. Yeah. Get her back and lively. But yeah, and I think it's interesting too when, again, you find this character within the Lion that Walter is also, again, through the old stories, attributing the name and the meaning behind the name to this lion. And it's like, I think Jasmine's a great name. And the Hub's all pissed off when he first hears that name. It's like, he knows that Garth has been probably telling him stories, number one. So I was like, maybe he's a little pissed off at Garth. Maybe not pissed off, but maybe a little annoyed.
He's not happy with either of them, as he makes clear.
Yeah. But again, as it
also how much that's projection, though, how much of he's also kind of not happy with himself because of the lack of care he has for his own future. Like it's I think it's a little bit of all three. He's unhappy with Garth, Walter, and there's some self-reflection that he doesn't want to self-reflect.
That's still he's never really gotten over that. That's why he just threw himself into every war that he could find after that, right? And he's been dodging it. Well, he hasn't grieved it, really.
Right.
Yeah.
As we talk about the first scene here, which I somewhat spoiled for just a split second.
Yeah. No, by the way, Jasmine's end, that one's one of those moments where you feel a bit choking up. I'm not sure I'm gonna make this.
So like, I'm sure we'll get to that scene, so I'll just hold off.
Yeah. Walter arrives at his uncle's farm, is immediately introduced to hard physical labor, self-reliance, practical responsibility through yard work, daily routines, and quiet expectations. Walter begins learning what it means to endure discomfort without complaint. We're gonna plant a garden. By the way, here's some tobacco. Chew it. Again, one of those humorous parts that
my grandfather did that to me.
Yeah.
What's that? Some okay.
Yeah, it's
get my cousin Kim and me a plug of beech nut, and she very quickly spit that out. I chewed on it for a while and then made the mistake of swallowing the juice.
I was gonna say, did you swallow it?
Ooh, wow. I will say similar experience for me. My grandfather didn't smoke or chew tobacco, but he was the one that taught me at a very young age that a man never complains when another man is smoking. That's very woman behavior. And so like at a very young age, like way pre-teenager, he's like, I don't care if you smoke or not. He's like, probably don't. But he said, if you're outside, whatever, never, ever complain about cigarette smoke. That's the most female coded behavior you do, ever. It's always the Karen that says, can you put out your cigarette? You don't do that as a man, ever. So,
I never even considered the idea of like getting upset when people are smoking. I was raised in the back of a Waffle House because my parents fucking worked, and like back in the day, smoking that was the go-to place to smoke. So I don't remember a time when I didn't smell it.
Nice, Dominic. Just beating in that dude's eye.
I wasn't spitting it in my grandfather's eye, no, because he was also 6'4", and I was not at that time.
It's true.
But yeah, I think the combination of him being there again, kind of going through these parts. Again, this is where he's learning the masculine that's introduced through effort, through discipline, examples rather than just having it told through explanation. Right? They are portraying themselves to be role models. That obviously he's like, well, look how we're doing. We're old men. Like, if we can do it, then you sure as hell can, being a young lad. So,
the great, like the first challenge is, you sleep up there.
Yeah.
And they basically just stand there, and it was like, oh, and if we die in the middle of the night, I guess that's going to be on you and all that shit. And he is absolutely shitting himself. They're sitting there just laughing at all while you leave. But again, it's you have to get some independence. It's clear that your mother's been hovering over you all this time, when she's around. And no, you go on up there, bye, figure it out.
Yep. Yeah. I think again, like this is, again, these scenes are framing his masculinity, like of being earned again through his responsibility, understanding these lessons that they're going through. And,
we'll find out if you have the basics, the foundations that we can build off of, right? And I'm glad that Leon's immediately proven correct when AJ comes in and demonstrates womanly behavior.
Hey, listen, I'll take cigarette smoke every day over weed. I'm never telling someone to put a cigarette out at this point. So,
I do like that too. The scene on the porch. So if mom calls, where's the telephone? Don't got one. Okay.
Don't got one.
You care if I go inside the house watch TV? Don't got one.
Don't got one.
What do you do all day?
What do you do?
Shoot salesman
shows up.
There's a TV.
And as a pro suspender individual, I respect the suspenders, the iced tea, the shotguns. Respect it all. It's just perfect.
Yeah. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Give some ammo. Give some more ammo.
But the casual handing off of the ammunition.
There's 2 more. I know how many you used.
Yeah.
Also, I love the dogs.
Oh yeah.
The dogs throughout this are hilarious. You know, when they suddenly become like the audience along with Walt when things are going on. The French bulldog is the one that I always notice.
One of my great grandmas kept a twist of tobacco and a paring knife in her pocket.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
I say what you want, but the first scene, Garth has a shotgun with one hand. One hand's that shit. Come on, man. That's no easy task.
Suspender supremacy.
Looks like a 12 gauge. I mean, that's gonna kick.
Yeah.
Krishan, how you doing, bud?
Fucking old man strength.
Yeah, they both look like Ithacas.
Yeah, there definitely are.
I think they're Model 37s.
And they're fighting shotguns too. They're not these big, super long barrel goose guns or. I mean, these are, they're utilitarian, but these guys also know how to fight too. You can tell.
Yeah, he definitely has an interesting, couple of his first days, especially when he's watching Hub.
All the dogs are sitting there with him just watching.
Yeah. And speaking of the dogs and the pig, and again, all these little, family members, I guess some people would definitely call them, right? All care about them. Like, you got to keep living for them too, as Walter, says to him. So definitely important, but I definitely appreciate that they, eat a healthy breakfast.
Yes.
All protein.
All protein. You got steak. You got sausage.
That is one of the weakest parts of this movie. Is the end. He's like, "I need to eat your vegetables." Like, no, that's some gay shit.
I hate that.
Yeah.
It's like if there's one of the worst lines in the film, it's that. Only not that it's a poorly written or anything. It's just the fact that like if someone's like, "And eat your vegetables." Nah.
To be fair, it's appropriate for the times because people were buying that propaganda. That was like the margarine kind of coming around era, the propaganda, the food pyramid. So at that time, as a kid, he probably was indoctrinated. But still,
to be fair, you also look at Hub and Garth, and they're both looking like, nah, that ain't happening. No.
Exactly right. Yeah. So, eat more meat.
Yes, eat your steak.
Yeah, I know Hubba's using a feather light because I have one and immediately recognized it.
What's up, Cannoli? How you doing? But just like when this movie is very underrated.
It's true. It's true.
I'm sure Cannoli has definitely seen this movie.
I have loved cannoli with a love that a flea like you could not understand.
Yeah, I mean, me growing up as a kid, this is definitely something my father, put me through. I definitely didn't care for it at the time, but I appreciate the lessons it taught me. Even during like a spring break or something like that, where all my friends would stop by and, like, yo, we're gonna go like through the woods into the mall, blah blah blah. We're gonna like have fun, and like that's like, sorry, Nick's working. See you later. And I was just like, well, okay.
Doing like the yard work and stuff like that was something that my dad had me do, and I always loved, whether it be like pulling the weeds, mowing the lawn with the push mower. It was working on the car. It's not even that I didn't enjoy it. It's like I don't have a mind for it, man. Like I love the idea of knowing how to work on cars, and I can do all like the simple stuff, but just I don't have the understanding of it like my dad does. I know he's trying to teach me, and I'm interested in learning, but there's some skills I just can't grasp because it's. Mm-hmm. I'll take manual labor yard work all day over working on a car because it doesn't click for me.
Cars are easy, but if you can debug computers, you can do cars.
Yeah, the only time I hated working on the cars when it's 100 degrees and you're on blacktop. That's when it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate doing anything in the heat. That's when you find out how little control I can have over my temper. And if you see tools being thrown, you might want to stay the hell away.
Yeah, I
You've
mean,
never had your knuckle slip off the wrench and you hit something.
Well, if you don't bleed on it, it's not going to work. You have to.
It's true.
Look, automobiles and trucks and everything like that, these are from the old gods, and they demand blood sacrifice.
Yes, they do.
like my dad's a carpenter and contractor, and so like a lot of he did everything. I was like, yeah, which obviously saved us money, but when it was coming down to like how to actually rebuild an entire bathroom, or like how to lay down tile, how to grout, like all that shit, how to sod a yard, how to level out the fucking dirt, I mean, like there was one part or one time, I think I was maybe about 14 or 15, but I remember what I did. I got in trouble though, but it was like sort of my punishment was to we were redoing an entire brick driveway from scratch, and that's what I did through the entire spring break.
That's a lot,
and in the fucking Florida heat too, so that, like, again, just lessons were learned, but I appreciate it. Certainly didn't like it and enjoy it, but again, those are the parts that are meaningful, right? There's one thing, like you said, Leon, like if you're doing things for learning skills, but if you're messing up, then obviously it's like you kind of look at things from a different lens. And
Person 11. Oh, my bad. Go on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Person 11 says people who can do tech but not machinery are so interesting to me because you think the two can translate well. I'm just gonna like kind of pose this a good one because like I'm someone who can do tech, but like again, not machinery. And for me, since you can do both, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this because like for me, the tech stuff is all effectively in your head. You can write lines of code, you can do you can do debugging, and it's like it's all mental. There's no physical aspect to it. I understand the mental aspect of cars, but it's the physical. It is the physical aspect. The like what I'm doing in my head just doesn't translate to the actual physicality of it, and so that's where the disconnect is for me. But if you can do both, so I'm just kind of wondering where you are on that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the opposite of that. I can't do tech, but I can do machinery. Yeah.
Well, so it's the same kind of thinking, regardless. You understand the systems and how they interact with each other, and then that allows you to diagnose problems because it's this. I'm seeing these behaviors. That doesn't necessarily mean it's directly related to the problem, but I understand the causal links that can get me there. So the first thing you do is look at the immediate things that would directly affect that, and if not, what are the indirect things that are still connected in the dependency chains, and figure it out.
Yeah,
once you do, then it's a matter of I mean, look, working on a car is basically, can you remove bolts? Can you install bolts? Okay, congrats. You've done 90% of anything you're going to do on a car, absent a total engine rebuild.
Well, see, and there's like the diagnostic aspect or whatnot. Like anytime I've got car issues and whatnot, it's like I'll call my dad and be like, okay, so I'm experiencing this, and this. I've come to the conclusion it could be this, or this. Here's the the causal links or whatnot. But I don't know enough to know which one is the more common. What is like what's on the correct line of thinking, and that's where my dad's like he's like, this is the most common. This is like he just sort of knows these things like in odds of like probability and whatnot that I just don't have that experience.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, you can experience helps a lot, as with anything. Because I mean, I would do the same thing with a tech guy where it was like, here are all the things. It must be a compiler problem, dude. Stop. When you arrive at it is a problem with a compiler, that better be the last thing in the chain that you hit, because that's the last thing I'm going to suspect. I'm going to suspect your code actually has a problem, or one of the many dependencies, the libraries that you bring in that were done by other people and all that, right? There are certain foundational things. It's like, that better be the last one on the list. That doesn't mean it isn't. Right. What I'm saying is that better be the last thing, right? And so, part of that can be, all right, I'm going to do some research on this vehicle. Check forums, the people that own them and have problems. What's kind of the frequency that you see for things popping up? That's kind of the quick way to get up to speed on a car.
Oh, YouTube has saved me thousands of dollars in repairs, and I own. So I work on my car about weekly at this point, and that's fun.
Yeah, I would say too, Leon. Like, I mean, I've been building my own computers for, God, I don't know, 20 years now. So, maybe a little bit over that. But you know, I've had much less experience working on cars, but they kind of function the same way, right? As long as you know where parts go, you can assemble, disassemble. Assuming when you hit the ignition or you hit the power button and they start up, then you're in good shape. But yeah, it's like when something goes wrong, like what the hell happened? My computer just shut off on me. It won't restart. Well, let's run down the list of options, right? You know, car won't start. What is it? All right, let's run down the list of options. Like they can be looked at the same approach, but you know, again, you can go much deeper, you know, into that. But like, yeah, I wouldn't, in some cases, like I would probably know better where to start when it comes to, you know, computer hardware than it is for, you know, any sort of machinery hardware, like you're working on a truck or a tractor or anything of the sort. So like, YouTube, here we go. Right. Like, you know, then I'll figure it out that way. But yeah, like, I mean, you know, a long time ago that wasn't around. So it's like, you just had to learn by someone teaching you or reading the manual. Right.
That's another sort of, you know, like the sense of accomplishment that, you know, it's a masculine thing. Is like, I remember when I was one of the first car issues I ever had, like with my first car, was a window fell off track. And, you know, it's like, okay, I can ask my dad or I can take it to the mechanic or whatnot, or like, let's just see what YouTube has to say. And it was like, called my buddy over. We watched some YouTube videos. Like, okay, let's pop the door frame off, do all this. I was like, all right, put the window back on track. It took us like 7 hours because it turns out it's actually not easy to do, but I did on my own and it felt fucking great. And now I know in the future, if it ever happens again, I can do it. It has not happened again, but it was good. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's very rewarding too. Not to mention the money you save too, not having to bring it in. That's a big part.
Yeah, I mean, I had to learn to work on my cars because my first car was $150, and if I wanted to either drive to school or go on a date or something, then it was up to me to make sure it ran. Otherwise, I was walking. So you got really intimate really quick with those cars, and it also helped that you were buying old cars. They had problems. You were going to get tossed in the deep end real fast.
Yeah.
And you know what's
my first car? Oh, you go for it. My bad.
No, you go ahead, Leon. I'll say it after.
Yeah, my first car was a '94 Chevy Beretta, so you know it was stick shift, and that's why I learned to drive on and whatnot. And at one point, I was having massive problems. Well, it turned out what the problem was you know the clutch went out, and that's one of the last things that you would expect to happen because it's such a rare issue. So like that was one where I had to end up taking it to a mechanic and whatnot because like the idea that was the problem seemed so far fetched because I mean like back to what Goodwin was saying like with the coding and stuff like that. It's like obviously you're not going to jump to that as the problem from the get-go since it's such a big deal issue. But that is what it ended up being. So that's the one I was like, fuck.
Yep. No, I'll just say too, I know it's not a car talk show, but things back in the day were much more user-friendly. I have a Kubota diesel tractor from the early 80s. You can tear that thing apart with very few tools. And a car that's made in the mid-2010s or now the 2020s, you cannot even like begin to take that thing apart without a specialty garage and tools and all the, forget about the computer stuff. But you buy a tractor from the 80s, you need like a toolbox. You can take it apart. Yes, that is
it's absolutely. It's an artificial, like by design sort of thing.
Very
true.
Very
well, I mean, part of it
aspect. Yes.
Part of it is ease of manufacture, not a maintenance, because they make most of their money up front. But the other thing is that the regulatory burdens around automobiles now, your CAFE standards and headlight standards and bumpers and all that stuff. I mean, physics can only work so far, right? You have a very constrained domain. Right. Why do all cars look alike? Because they all have to solve the same aerodynamic problem, and there's only a very few ways to do it. So you end up on this general form that you have. But no, my first car was not a Model T. It was a 1971 Pontiac Grand Prix with a 455. I used to play past the IROC all the time. It was fun when you saw the rich farm kids driving in their IROC Z Camaros, and you would pass them and they'd get pissed. And then they'd pass you again, and I'd let them get a little ahead, and I'd stomp on it. And that big Rochester would, and you'd see trees sucking in as that 455 started sucking air, and I'd pass them doing about 130.
I will say the The first car I ever drove was a Model T. My grandfather's red and white Sporter Model T. That was the first car. I was like 6 or 7, and I wasn't doing the pedals, but I was steering. And it was
those are not skills that will translate to any modern car because you're having to run the spark advance. You're having to run.
Yes, you're doing the timing on the engine. And
yep.
Let's say he was doing that. I was steering, but that's the first car I ever drove, technically. So
I don't remember my dad's first car. I'd have to ask him. I definitely learned about car parts. Last thing I'll say, and we'll move on. But I definitely learned about car parts because I was upgrading my car and blowing parts because I was racing.
That may have been what happened to that Grand Prix. May have spun a main bearing on that, doing a burnout contest. I blew out one of the tires right before it spun the main.
Yeah, I remember going to a racetrack here in Florida, and I had my first car was a 1997 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and
you fucking would.
I definitely
once you thought I'm going to be Paul Walker.
Dude, I actually met him in senior year of high school, ironically, but yeah, he was a cool dude. I barely met Tyrese. He was just doing his thing, but down in Miami actually. But yeah, like I blew or I cracked one of my pistons in the engine, so I had to spend a little bit of money. But I upgraded everything, like the fucking cams, the new pistons, and like just the header. I mean, I upgraded a lot, which was fun just to go out to the racetrack and just, drag race. I didn't really do a lot of street racing because there were a lot of, I mean, I knew where all the stops were, all the cops were, but anyway. Point being is that the best way to learn is by breaking stuff, and then you know how to fix it.
That's right.
After that,
I will just say, I've totally never put a dent in the door of a Crown Victoria while doing donuts in a snowy New England parking lot. Yeah, when you're a teenager, definitely never done that. When you hit, the yellow poles, that you don't expect they're as close as they are, and you're doing donuts on an icy parking lot. It's
I've never spun a Caprice Classic into a tree row and not touch a tree, but took me an hour to get out of because when I came in, I was rotating. When I came out, I was not.
Yes.
What a comment.
I've never rear-ended an Asian woman during a rainy day, and then when it turns out you realize she couldn't speak English, just drove off because there's no need to exchange insurance info for someone who can't speak English.
Bye.
I just call ICE and drive away, get the reward too.
Dude, it was so funny because I tried to tell her like 3 times to pull around. We'll exchange insurance info. And once I realized she didn't understand me, I was like, "Freebie."
I have definitely never had sex while driving a car on the highway back home to get a girl home from a date.
Fun stories.
And that was a 4-speed, so I had to shift.
That's impressive.
Managed both feet. Yeah. I thought it seemed like Ghost Rider was cooler than Nick Cage.
Yeah. Also, being at the time 6'4" and having sex with a girl in the backseat of a Volkswagen Bug that was not mine.
Dude, I'm 5'8" and I had trouble doing it in the fucking 94 Beretta. How the fuck do you manage to do that? Contortionist?
Like where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
This is turned into a never have I ever segment.
That's why I carry a bandana in my back pocket. Not even kidding. Not even kidding.
It's good for wiping snot and other things.
Yep.
Feel free to post your other never have I ever.
I have many stories that are related to that kind of thing.
Go knows. I never did 10 shots of like fucking Jaeger and then did 5 hours of karaoke or 5 hours of Uber.
I definitely never drank enough Goldschlager that I was still hungover on a Monday, and the drinking was on Friday night.
And speaking of, can we respect the root beer here? Obviously, pure cane sugar in a glass bottle. How cool is that?
As the good Lord intended.
He enjoys it. Yeah,
I can't abide him drinking it like such a bitch though. Double fisting the fucking bottle is like, no, that's not okay. I don't care how good of an act you are. That's not okay.
Well, I think it's important though because he's showing that he's savoring it while the other relatives are forced to watch.
I think that's just a bad screenshot of that. I think that's just like a one frame. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Blue instantly just got more homosexual, like with just that few seconds right there. Like,
I'm fine with that.
He was looking at his glass, going, "Truly, this is the cup of an Uber driver."
Exactly.
No, but this is leading up to what we mentioned earlier, where it's like, no, Uncle Hub, maybe we can, see what he has to say, and then shoot him after that, right? And then, lo and behold, these family members are like, well, we don't want to be here. I don't want my kids around guns.
We'll take it.
It's like, you're in Texas, first of all, lady.
Yep.
So, and the funny thing is,
the 60s, by the way, like,
yeah. And there's that scene where like they all like literally every single one of them are lined up, even like the punk kid, those greasers, like they've all got guns too. Like everyone has guns in their hands, and they're like, "Where's the lion?"
The two little kids
are holding guns.
Carrying
they had
one grand.
Which I was just like,
yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Which I was like, wait a second, lady, didn't you just say you didn't want your kids?
No, yeah, right. But like the head cans, obviously, like those are all Garth and Hub's guns. They just
for sure. Everybody comes out. They all have guns.
Yeah.
I think I saw 30-30 lever action or something, a Winchester. You gotta love it. Yeah.
Love it. I love the scene right there. Please don't shoot. It's like, hey, this salesman, he's been here before.
Yeah, with the white flag.
Yeah, he's good.
Up to earmuffs. Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually, I mean, for him to be like, pull it, and then he actually got the ski out of the air. So I'm like,
the earmuffs he's wearing.
Yeah, I love the pot holders with the. I'll just put some string on there. Now I have hearing protection.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's better than nothing.
To be fair, that's more than I necessarily got.
Yeah, I never had ear protection when I was a kid going out hunting.
Just close your mouth when it happens. Don't blow your eardrums out.
Yep.
Like the salesman here, this is before he did the show Heroes, too.
Oh yeah.
You understand that, Nick? To me, that sounded like just fucking. It was a different language. You speaking Urdu for a moment, like.
Oh yeah.
Was it the actor that was the salesman was also in Heroes?
Heroes.
Thank
series.
you for the translation. Good. When I appreciate
Never watched
that. I
that show.
Heroes, and that was it. And I was like,
excuse me, stewardess. I speak drunk.
Adrian Pastar, good actor.
Oh, the tobacco. Yeah.
There's that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I love the legally distinct beech nut.
Yep. I love it though, like where Garth looks at Hub like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Well, what?
Yeah.
Who knows? He might have liked it."
Pat the back of the head, and then back to patting his back. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Which I just have to say, as someone who gardens and has gardened a lot, this triggered the crap out of me. You don't realize you're planting corn kernels and they all look alike. I mean, radish seeds and carrot seeds and peas and stuff. Come on.
It is established. They spent the last 40 years in Africa, which is basically one time.
This is true. I know, but when they all look the same, I mean, they didn't.
They do eventually go, those seeds all did look alike, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did, but I'm just saying, well, you're actually physically planting them. Maybe the kid planted them too. You never know. I mean, who knows? But
no, they all did.
They did. Yeah. No, that's just, it's like you're planting kernels. It's necessary for the story though. So I'll forgive it, but.
Yeah. I mean, and they just want to bring a little bit of Africa to Texas. Let's get a giraffe. Let's get a lion.
Yes.
The giraffe is getting delivered somewhere else.
It's true.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yep. This is Miss Jasmine, as we already saw.
This line is defective.
That was such a good line.
Yeah, they said, "Listen, defective lion."
Defective line. I love how they always change outfits though, looking like
they're on safari now. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like those safari rifles too.
Yep. And
nice touch.
Disappointed, but again, the kid Walter is as the dogs look on as well, which I love.
Oh, and then Walter says to Hub, he's like, "Well, this be good above our fireplace. You don't have a fireplace. We'll buy one.
We'll buy one.
We don't have that yet. We'll buy one. How much would he give May for the kid? Can't buy the kid. Let's talk about some of the stories from the past, which I'm sure you're itching to talk about, Leon.
Yeah, because again, I had no concept that this was part of the movie at all. I could be wrong because I was young when this movie came out. It was 2003, so it's probably 9-10 years old, depending on when. And I don't remember this part being in any of the commercials, the marketing, anything. So this took me by complete surprise.
Yep.
I just realized that this and Big Fish came out the same year.
Yeah, and there's a lot of similarity.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and I think through it's interesting how Garth is telling the stories of Hub, right? But he's applying all this mysticism behind it. And I think the masculinity that goes into all these stories is again coming from the observation that's like this honest confession that I think Garth is telling Walter for him to decide if he's going to believe in it or not. Like I think he's like preserving this myth to help inspire, or that inspiration to young Walter here. And again, it's like, do you want? And I think what I think is interesting too is that as Garth tells you stories to Walter, and as Walter thinks about it, every time he hears another piece of the story, he always looks at Garth just a little bit differently, looks at Hub a little bit differently every single time. Like the more he hears, like, well, what happened next? Where'd you leave off? Like, what happened to Jasmine? And he know, like, it's like it's obviously the curiosity too for a kid at that age, but it definitely shows like that. I think the depth behind all of these stories from the past is that, again, it shows that boys need both myth and truth to mature properly. Like stories give a boy something to aim at, but truth gives them something solid to stand on once they're actually ready to hear it. Kind of like when, again, we'll talk about this in the next scene again, is the speech from Hub to Walter, right? Like, I'll give you a little bit, but you're not ready to hear the rest because you're not quite ready yet to stand on that solid ground.
You're not about to become a man.
Yeah. I mean, like, compare this to being a 4, 5, 6-year-old reading Spider-Man comics for the first time. Like, you've got, it's fiction, it's not real, but that doesn't mean the values and the morals and the great power comes great responsibility. There's not realism to that, even if the mythos is,
it's a good question.
That mythical. And also, like, the movie does something else very smart, which is the choreography, the way people move, the way people act. It is very cartoony, very fairy tale in these sections. The comedy is over the top, like big, bombastic, almost vaudevillian comedy, because that emphasizes the kind of fairy tale nature of this. But that doesn't mean it's not real. Like when all the wives, point and whatnot, or when they're drinking and fall back in their chairs, you don't see that in the real world scenes of this. So it does for a long time. This movie, it makes you wonder: are these stories true? Like,
Also,
even you, the viewer, don't know.
We take Walter as okay. Obviously, Garth is telling me stories, but this is the stories from a perspective of a 14-year-old. Because if you said like, "Hey, two grown men got into a fight," tell it to a 40-year-old man. Say two grown men got into a fight. Tell it to an 8-year-old. An 8-year-old's going to see that fight a lot different than a grown man. So Walter, he's hearing the stories from Garth, but also he's 14, so he's embellishing.
Yeah, you're
elaborating the stories.
You're seeing it from Walter's imagination.
Exactly.
Of what's going on. Garth is telling the story, but Walter's the one imagining it.
Well, I'm so glad it's a Touchstone film or a New Line Cinema film, not a Disney film, because you get to see him mark some motherfuckers in these flashbacks. Like, holy shit!
Yes.
Like, if there was blood, this would be it would go from like G or PG or whatever to rated R. That's the only difference. They don't show blood because he has a fucking body count. In this movie.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's like the good one said. The thing is, this body count told to a different person would be a lot bloodier and gorier, but you're seeing it from Walter's point of view, or seeing it from his point of view.
I'm going to leave it here just for a second.
I would say, colonize the bitch.
Appreciate that.
Bar says, I'm looking forward to being part of the Grand Trainer breakdown with y'all. I'll be interested to break it down in this fashion. Hell yeah. Spoiler. We'll be here.
Get off my lawn.
When's Gran Torino?
Next week.
Is that next week? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. The movie I've only seen once. I saw it when it was in theaters, so it'd be nice to go back to it all these years later.
I wish I could quote it right now, but I respect your stream. So
I'll just play the clips at that point, like
yes.
It came from the movie. I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Oh.
The fucking the barbershop scene.
Oh, dude, there's quite a few scenes for sure.
I'll miss Yum
Yum. Yeah, I mean, she's a very beautiful woman. And again, like it kind of makes sense when you hear
all the Canadian immigrants that like her, we wouldn't have an issue with what's going on in Canada right now.
That's very true.
Sure, yeah.
Zach's.
I gotta say though, I would be much more in favor of the 51st state if that's what the Canadians look like.
Right?
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all look like
we'd be invading right now.
To be fair, 52nd. It depends on if we get them in Greenland first.
That's true.
That's very true. Yeah.
I haven't looked at her since that's 23 years. But
I mean, to be fair, if all Canadians were this hot, they wouldn't have all that snow and ice and shit.
This is true. Yeah.
There'd be a lot less problems for sure.
Actually, actress just turned 49. She's still beautiful. Yeah. Oh shit.
There we go.
And then maybe Trudeau wouldn't be so gay too.
That especially.
I don't think there's anything that could turn that around.
That's true. Yeah.
Certainly not Katy Perry.
Ooh, no.
Man. But I think again when you're hearing this and you're seeing he sees the picture right in the chest, so he already knows, and again he's probably not seen a lot of women unfortunately yet, but the fact that he understands from an old picture like, wow, this woman is very pretty or is beautiful, and then you hear stories of coming from Garth depicting that this is the woman that this badass my badass uncle fell in love with here, and fought for, right?
Who was also the equal of him in horsemanship, right?
That's what I was about to say. Like, we brought up the lack of femininity or even parenthood or anything in the mother, but like this is a very a very good way to show femininity, and that like she was equal in horse riding and whatnot, but she also she is taken captive by the Sikh and things to that effect. So like there's a
and she's ready to kill herself rather than submit to him, to be separated from her love.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, if they all looked like this, then
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Because
colonize away.
That's why Hub took out 20 guys at a time for her.
Yeah, trust me, I'll bring peace to the Middle East.
Whose fault? Let's do it. Yeah.
You watch the film, man up, and then just start being like, "Oh, they all look like this." Okay, cool.
Right, well.
We're taking them over. So, but she's a great value and a great example of femininity in this movie.
Yeah, she is an equal to Hub in the femininity that she provides, but also the capability that she has, right? That she's not just the damsel in distress or anything like that. She is also a strong woman, but recognizes Hub as stronger in certain aspects. But she brings her own, and that's exactly the kind of woman that Hub would require, right? Someone that can really stand toe to toe with him. And
there was a time Hollywood used to write great female characters. Boy.
Land whales deciding to have their therapy sessions in the script.
Imagine if they rewrote it today, what her character would be.
Blue hair, nose ring.
Oh, God, yeah.
She wouldn't have died in childbirth because she'd have aborted the kid. So
that's true.
Very
right?
true,
yeah.
She would just be like,
she would have left him for her career, and
very true. Yeah.
Working for Greenpeace or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Some stupid activist or whatever.
Yeah.
Going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
How did you?
Yeah, she was great on horse, but the driving the car thing, that didn't work out well for her.
Listen, her hotness couldn't melt that ice. Okay, it wasn't going to
happen.
Although there's that one person like, No, I can save you. I'm gonna hide you. Don't worry about it.
You'll be drunk enough. I'll try.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the hot crazy scale is like, well, I mean, she is hot, so I understand there's crazy that I'm gonna have to put up with. All right.
Yeah, even young Hub's like, holy shit.
Yeah. Look at that mustache, though.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, the actor they had for the young Hub is
Great
really good as
portrayal.
well. Yeah.
100%. Again, it's like this is I like this scene here too, because it's again just the contrast, the black and the white. It's almost like the yin and the yang. They are the same, as you mentioned, Goodwin.
And they do the voiceover over the scene where he Garth goes out of his way to emphasize. He uses like 12 adjectives before he gets to true love.
Yeah, there's a lot of emphasis on the importance of their connection and relationship. How much better of a dude is Robert Duvall over Robert De Niro?
Listen,
Infinitely.
Robert De Niro wishes that he could be close to the man that Robert Duvall could probably be at half the man that he is. And so it wouldn't be enough. Now, if Robert De Niro just kept his mouth shut, shut your damn mouth. But here we are. Stupidity from De Niro. She would have left him for her career and started working at the Nakatomi building.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Anyone here besides Goodwin know Robert Duvall's first role?
His first role?
I assume you know Goodwin.
Well, he was in THX 1138, but I was thinking it was before that.
I don't know.
Unless I'm wrong in my trivia, which I get, you could prove me wrong if I'm wrong. But to my knowledge, it wasn't his first role Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, was that his first role?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'd always assumed it wasn't for some reason, but
no, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, Domini in the chat got it. Nice job.
Yeah, introduced.
Yeah, 1962.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Boo.
That's right.
Damn, he just turned 94. Fucking, or no, that was last year. Sorry.
Well,
Kill Mockingbird is such a fantastic fucking movie.
Yes, it is.
I remember we had to do a book report in school.
Talk about some fucking chads in that movie. Gregory Peck is a man.
Could be worth talking about at some point.
Yeah, that and Old Angry Men are like I think those are two both like if we're gonna do old school like black and white shit. Yeah, I tell you.
Oh yeah, 12 Angry Men is another one.
12 Angry Men.
Robert
Casablanca.
His birthday is January 5th, so we just missed it. But he just turned 95 on January 5th last week.
Nice.
Damn, that's awesome.
They could probably still kick someone's ass.
I believe it.
He's gonna be dying in a plane crash real soon, according to this movie.
No, they died at 90.
That's right.
No, the cop says in their 90s, so we don't actually know.
They said 90.
Oh, I think he said
no, so in their 90s, plural. So we don't specifically know. So we got, we got some.
We got a range. Yeah, we got a range.
Well, I'm looking it up.
True Grit 1969.
Yeah.
Have we seen this movie called Ben-Hur?
Yeah, I believe I've seen it. Well,
which one? You mean the remake?
Which of the like 4? Because there's the silent one.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, I thought we were doing a bit where we all went silent after he said that. Like that's
no, that was unscripted. That was
we were just waiting for the subject.
That was organic.
We needed the dialogue cards to come up to handle the interaction here.
I'm trying to timestamp Leon.
I was going to type something in.
Be informed by 2 90-year-old men at 138.
Yeah, it was 90. It's not in their 90s. I was pretty sure they were explicitly 90.
Neither one of them.
Maybe I misheard the dialogue. My bad.
Well, the best part of that is like neither one had their pilot's license either.
Also trying to fly upside down through a barn.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Also, like the whole not having their pilot's license thing. I was under the impression it was Texas. Nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, and
yeah, with the fact that they crashed the fucking plane upside down to a barn.
Well, they did go under the overpass, that highway overpass, and that's what got the cop involved.
And the keyword was at 90. They're flying fucking planes. People now like they're 30 years old. They're 30 years old. Like my back, my legs hurt at 30. Like, what?
Same, Dominic.
They built the plane.
Yeah.
And they had no pilot's license. They had no pilot's license, so they're going off of instinct. So
he had the instruction manual. He said you pull back to go up, you push down to go open it. There we go. We're good.
Oh, you know what?
Inverted
So Waylon said that he sent you a bunch of westerns. You want it to be a real interesting episode of Masculine Monday? To do a masculinity comparison between Seven Samurai and Magnificent Seven, because they're effectively the same film, but from like Eastern and Western philosophies of masculinity.
Except that Kurosawa was copying John Ford movies, so it was Western via the East back to the West.
Was it inspired by a specific Western movie? Out of curiosity,
Kurosawa in general loved John Ford westerns, and
right.
Inspired by
Magnificent Seven was directly inspired by Seven Samurai.
Right, no. I think what Kurosawa was doing was like picking and choosing the things that he.
There's definitely some westerns we're gonna cover this year for sure. We may cover a Kurosawa film as well at some point.
If we don't cover the outlaw Josie Wales at some point, somebody's getting cut.
We definitely will. We definitely will.
Also, Jay, I just seen this was 2 days ago. Ben-Hur from 1959 is getting a restored 4K Ultra HD remake.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, so just came out 2 days ago.
I have to see that. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I mean, especially that in 4K Ultra. Okay.
That was a Technicolor movie, right?
With 59 it's a black and white, right?
No, 59 is color, and
you're right.
It's the I'm pretty sure it's Technicolor. Technicolor. So the reason that Technicolor movies really pop compared to so much is that they're basically they're shooting 3 rolls of black and white film, and they use dye to color each of the strips, and so the color stays with them versus older color style films where the color begins to fade. So go ahead and take that bitch and turn it to 4K, and it'll be like, is that all you got? I got more resolution to go. Come on in, the water's fine.
It's actually
was the 10 Commandments Technicolor as well? Do you know, or
I know that like Lawrence of Arabia was. I know that The Wizard of Oz was actually an early Technicolor.
Right? Yeah. It wasn't the first movie in color, but it was the first Technicolor film, right?
Yeah, and it was very specifically the one where they dyed. That's why the colors pop so hard in that.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz holds up beautifully to this day, like just from a visual perspective.
It does. Wasn't Wizard of Oz like late 30s? Am I wrong on that? Or
39?
It was 39?
It might have been earlier than that. But
Ben-Hur comes out February 17th.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
That's one you want to see.
It was 39. That's correct.
Yeah,
39.
that's one you want to see in a big damn theater.
Yeah.
Not one of your little piddly cinemaplexes. You want to go to like 1,000-seater with the giant screen.
Imagine what the rowing scene will sound like in a big theater.
Oh, God.
All of that. Oh, my goodness. The whipping, the drums.
Well, the chariot race.
The chariot race, the galloping, everything would be incredible.
I don't usually spoil anything, but because I know that Goodman loves Josie Wales, and obviously there's quite a few people in chat that do as well. It is going to be the 50th anniversary of Josie Wales on June 26th this year. So June 29th, we'll be covering Josie Wales.
Absolutely.
That will be my first time seeing the movie.
Really?
Really?
Yep.
Well, you're about to see the best Clint Eastwood movie. Period.
June 26, 1976. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
I have a funny story with that movie. My grandfather.
Right.
My grandfather showed me the uncensored version when I was kind of like not super old, and that was one of those movies. Remember the scene with the chick?
Oh yeah.
That was one of the movies. Don't tell your mother or your grandmother. Shut up. Basically, that was. He kind of forgot. He's like, I forgot that was that bad. Okay. That was one of the shut up movies. Don't say anything.
Yeah, so. I only saw that thing uncensored because it was on HBO when I was a kid, and
that'll do it.
Yeah, when that scene today is still uncomfortable.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I have to say the storytelling behind all this is also just so well done. Again, like you don't know anything about this that's being portrayed or shown.
No,
Like
but
in
what we do know is that George Lucas heard these stories and completely ripped this off because I mean we got this is exactly what happens in Jedi, right? Princess Leia fakes like she's turning into Chewbacca and whatnot. George Lucas stole from the Secondhand Lions.
right before he made the special editions. Yes.
Yeah.
I figured Gooch would probably like this scene the most because
There was a midget.
Yeah. And a skeleton.
Yeah, it was very specific. What was it, like 1,387 tortures is the
Yeah. It was something that like I'm like, okay,
when you walk
he
down,
definitely made it up.
there's like 1 through 1387 to the left, and then 1388 and more to the right.
Mm-hmm. But again, just being the guy that Hub is like, okay, Mr. Sheik here, checkmate. Also a nice eye patch. And then I always think of the storytelling when just for Walter's sake, hearing all this and just going, man, like this is the same dude who comes out and sleepwalks at night.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of the tale of Hub and everything that he does for love is the epic story that Walter needs to hear, but also it reminds the audience that them old men, sometimes they've lived some very interesting lives. Mm-hmm. You might want to be real careful about who you fuck around with, right? And you see that much like we saw with Bubba Hotep, where they're looking at, oh, it's just old people, and we're just waiting for them to die, kind of things, or whatever. When the guys are carrying the World War II vet out, and one of them's like, man, it makes you think. What did this guy say? Oh, shut up and get him in the. That he doesn't care, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with Hub, right? That Hub has fought in multiple wars. I mean, he's basically been in continuous war for 40 years. Yeah. Right. Once he got over there in World War I, he stays there, and fights in any war he could find, and has loved, found the woman of his dreams, and has gone hell and high water to get her, and protect her, and then she dies in childbirth and all of that, and he's carrying all that with him. It's there's a reason that we write these kind of epic myths about, and stories and all this stuff. It's because some people have actually lived that kind of shit, right? You color it a bit to punch up certain areas or whatever. I have a joke when I'm telling stories with family, and we're kind of stretching the truth a bit. And so my ending to that is, and if that's not the truth, it's what the truth wanted to be. Right. And that's kind of what these stories are.
I'll make a point to your point, Teddy Roosevelt too. Good one. I mean, kind of when you ever read his biography. Oh my gosh, the loss he suffered at an early age and the trials he went through. I mean, forget about his politics, love him or hate him, but his life story is incredible.
Same with greatest president of all time, Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson,
Andrew motherfucking Jackson. But like before,
didn't he kill his attempted assassin? I think was that him.
He took the gun from him and beat him with it.
Beat him to death.
Okay, that's what it was. Yes. Yep.
So, but before we get to the Hub speech, there's also like when it gets to the whole like he's holding the sheik, he makes the speech. He's like, "I'm giving you your life twice. There won't be a third time," and things like that. The end of that story is actually, in my opinion, the most important for Garth as a character, because he ends it with like, it's played off as a joke, but he's like, if you want my opinion, he just stopped caring about your uncle because he got rich off all the oil and whatnot, which even though it's played for laughs and does that cut, he's cut away and he shows us surrounded by all the money. It's like, it adds truth to these, the mythos and the stories and whatnot, because like, wait a second, if he's willing to jump in with the realistic of like, ain't no reason to kill your fucking uncle when I've got all this wealth and whatnot. even if he's saying it's a joke, it's like it makes the story more believable because there is that realism factor that he ends it with.
Well, it's also that when if like some of the things that my kids and other family will talk about, like shit that I did, and they're always oh, but this, that, whatever. And if it's like somebody that was with me or is my age and knows me, they'll kind of laugh it off, like, yeah, a good one is probably doing this and that, whatever, right? But the story itself, if you just take it on the face, it sounds like this epic thing. And it's like, dude, I didn't choose to get into this situation. It just, there were about 8 things that led me here. It was just, I was in it now. And so you deal with it. And so Garth is kind of doing maybe it's the honor, this, that, whatever. I think he was just, because he's a peer, right? And you don't view peers quite the same way as you do like a generation ahead of you, or that oh, this guy, but he was the real. It's never guy playing basketball now that was the greatest. It's always the guy you saw as a kid or you heard about, right? Oh my God, Pistol Pete Maravich would drop 150 in these games now and all that, right? Wilt Chamberlain would absolutely dominate.
Even Michael Jordan revered the ones before him, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this speech cut up into segments, so I'll definitely play them out because I definitely want to talk about it, because it's obviously, I mean, a lot of great meaning behind it, a lot of truth. And again, I think this scene, it's not as a total, it's not that long, and it doesn't need to be for how impactful it actually is. Like, this scene makes masculinity explicit rather than like it being just implied. Like, it's basically saying, and I think
this isn't an off the cuff kind of thing either, right? This is a speech that Hub has been giving for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's gotten boiled down and refined to its essence.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, look, manhood is chosen daily through principles. So again, like when he talks about things like, I'm going to talk about just believing in something and talking about true love, and just, I mean, he'll say it better than I can, but it's just, man, there's so much weight to his words. And again, whoever wrote this,
it's the writer director, again, same guy who wrote Iron Giant.
Yeah. Great job.
Oh, no shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Great job.
Wrote the screenplay. I assume you mean wrote the screenplay for the movie Iron Giant, right?
Yeah. Wrote the screenplay.
Yeah. I'll play.
It's McCandless, I believe his name is.
Sometimes the things that may or may not be true are the things that a man needs to believe in the most. That people are basically good. That honor, courage, and virtue mean everything.
Honor, courage, virtue mean everything. Like, that's just a few things right off the cusp, like, for Walter to understand and go, okay, like, as long as I'm honorable, like, I can do that. As long as I have virtue, okay, cool. Courage, yeah, cool. All right, I got that.
Well, and the basic, that people are basically good.
Good, right. And the fact that, you would just want to be good. That you're
and
good.
you have to view others, right? Because to walk around and just go, everybody is always a piece of shit, they're always going to fuck me or whatever, you will never have any connections.
Right. Yeah.
And
you're going to sell yourself short every single time.
I also think that, like, while those the virtues were very incredibly important, my biggest takeaway from that first part of the speech is the "people are mostly good" line, which is something that I actually do believe. And I know that, like, especially in this black world, this black pilled, like, globalist world where we all kind of, the world feels smaller than ever and whatnot. We hear about these daily tragedies every day, and murders and rapes and killings and all that. Like, I think it's very easy for folk to think that people aren't mostly good, but like and maybe it's naive to think so or not, but I actually have always thought that most people are good, or at least doing their best, and that's kind of the trap we fall into, is not believing that.
Yeah, that was actually, I had when I was in New York City back in 2017, there was this very feminist gal who was very much, we ought to have a law and we need to have this and all that and whatever. And I said, there's a funny thing. You and I both rode the subways plenty in this city. When was the last time you saw a subway cop in one of the cars? And yet somehow, if someone, an older woman comes on who's got a limp, or you see somebody with crutches or whatever, people will get up and offer them their seat. That generally, we bump into each other occasionally, and there's no real fist fights or anything like that. The vast majority of people are, they believe in doing the right thing, because you can't have enough police to actually enforce laws if everybody goes, nah, fuck this, I'm just going to get away with whatever I can while there isn't somebody sitting over me looking to enforce the law, because you don't have enough police. You basically have to have a one-to-one police and those people, and then you couldn't trust the police because they would be doing the same shit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, I would say we live much further from anarchy than people want to give credit. People do still, by the grace of God, have a moral compass, whether you're
Well, hold on. Don't miscategorize anarchy. That's not what anarchy means. That is not what anarchy means whatsoever.
Okay, not from the governmental sense. I'm saying from the morality
sense. He's not talking about the political sense. He's talking about...
I'm not talking political. I'm not... No, full on F the government. I get that. No, but I'm saying from the
absence of rules,
absence of morality. And I'm saying, Christian or not, I think, but from a Christian perspective, I say by the grace of God, we still have people have moral compasses, and even free of consequence. That's irrelevant. I still, like you said, most people still have a comprehension of good and evil. Thank God.
Yeah, I just looked up because Goodwin mentioned New York City subway. So just in 2025, it is the misconception of social media. Riding New York City subway is dangerous. Well, according to the stats, 2025, 4 people were killed. Mind you, 4 people may sound like a lot, but considering they have like 1 billion rides a year, 4 people, the math isn't adding up.
Scheme of things.
Yeah, again, I would tell anybody, get on a subway, especially when you're kind of in a rush hour situation or something like that. Watch when an elderly person comes in who clearly has, a limp or somebody on crutches, whatever. People will get up and give them the seat.
Yeah.
Right. Men still stand up and go, nah, you can have it, to a woman. Even if she's young and all this stuff. It's like, no, it's fine. Right. There's going to be assholes, but the reason they're remarkable is because they're rare.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying on average, like per day, there's about 4 million people riding the subway per fucking day. When an entire fiscal year goes by and 4 people have been killed, which 4 people sucks, but like when 4 million people per fucking day,
you have a better chance of getting hit by lightning.
I mean,
yeah. I think the media wants us to be terrified and not trusting our fellow man. To be distrusting all the time.
I've been in New York State my entire life, and I've been told by social media, like all my black friends might trying to kill me on a daily basis, and there's some major race war going on, and
I walked the
black friends are trying to kill me for different reasons. It's not so much race.
I walked the entirety of Manhattan Island at night and never had anybody come up. Now, to be fair, I'm bigger than the average guy, so maybe they looked and went, they ran the calculus and went, nah, I don't think I went into that. But the by and large, you'll have a few. You have to be aware of your situation and surroundings. If you see 5 guys all giving you the predator eye, then you better let them know, I see you. I'm watching. I'm aware you're not coming up on me. Right. But those are the things that again, the vast majority of people just operate, they're just trying to get along. They got the basic rules in place. You'll get a few, and again, younger ones occasionally have to be reminded by older men. No, bro, that ain't happening here. And they can decide whether they want to step up or not.
Those older men were the young men that were being reminded by the older men before.
Right. Again, it's like I don't know what your situation is or whatever. Somebody didn't teach you etiquette. Well, I'm here to fix that for you.
And I'll say one part that plays, and I'll end it with this, but armed society is a polite society.
Yeah.
And even as someone from a really blue state, I'm from one of the bluest states in the Union, we still have concealed carry, and people use it and exercise their rights. And, that's one thing. I think America is the most polite society on earth because there's
and that's actually a really, so despite what social media would have you believe, when you look up the actual stats and the statistics and just the general sentiment amongst foreign countries, amongst the tourists they get, by and large, most countries with large tourism aspects, their favorite tourists are Americans, and it's not just because of all the money spent and whatnot. It's because we are actually a polite people by and large when we visit. Now, obviously, it doesn't seem like it when you've got like obnoxious, IRL streamers and whatnot. But those are minority cases. But yeah, statistically, Americans are a favorite tourist-wise amongst all these other governments because we are a polite people when we travel.
Yeah, we don't cause a lot of problems. We generally get along.
We pick up after ourselves too, usually.
But I think the thing is it's not through some nefarious intent that the media goes, hey, look at this and look at that or whatever. There's a reason that we never run stories about a dog biting a man, but man bites dog is newsworthy.
Well, it's not profitable. No one's going to watch it.
Because again, why would you get attention for shit that happens every day?
Yep. Let's play part 2 of this speech here.
Power and money and power mean nothing. That good always triumphs over evil. And I want you to remember this, that love, true love never dies. You remember that, boy.
I had to cut that a bit short because, again, I mentioned
he
earlier,
holds that so hard. Yeah,
there's a long pause here at that moment, and again, like when he raises his fist, it's like,
well, again, there's nothing. There is nothing that will get a grown man choked up a bit is to see another grown man not cry, but have to hold back.
But
and you detect it. Yeah.
Yep.
The voice break, the having to take a breath, right? To the stealing, you can see the energy that he's having to use to steal the emotions to be able to deliver the line.
I have a question. Do you think it's because Robert is such a phenomenal actor? Do you think he was tapping into something personal in that scene? Obviously something we would never know, but I mean, I really feel he was getting into the heart of it, something internal. I think he channeled something personal for that scene personally.
I think he just understood the character really well. I mean, that's and if for because I don't know his marital situation, how long he'd been married, or if he's been married how many times, whatever. But everybody remembers that love that hangs with them, even if they're not with them, right? It didn't work out and there's whatever, but occasionally it can be 30 or 40 years. You'll get a twinge and you'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna have to let that one pass a bit, because even especially when you were young, those are the ones that you kind of imprint on and stay with you, because everything is so raw emotionally, and that was the first time that really hit.
And you can even reflect on that positively too. It's not necessarily painful every time too. I mean, you can remember the good stuff too.
And I would add to your as an answer to your question, whether he was or wasn't is almost irrelevant, because at the end of the day, it's kind of a universal human truth. Like even if he was drawing from something personal to himself, there's this sort of like metaphysical human truth that it is in speeches and moments and emotions like that you almost don't have to draw from something personal to be able to feel that, because it's just kind of ingrained in us after generations and years and evolution and whatever you want it to be, that like it's understood even if there are no words.
Yeah, as long as you're not a sociopath. I mean, if you have any kind of empathy at all,
right?
Then absolutely,
Well, you have to have a heart.
Right. Let's play part 3, shall we?
Man should believe in those things because those are the things worth believing in. Got that?
That was a good speech.
Think so.
Just a goddamn veteran actor, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think just to say it, I don't think it's not true, or maybe there's something there, but obviously if he's reading the script, 250 times over, like
that'll do it. Well, I think the other thing though is that with age comes, if you're doing it right, with age comes wisdom, right? You've had a lot of experience that you've learned from, and so the first time that something happens to you, you're kind of raw and it's, oh my God, the world is over or something like that. when you get older, and you may not ever have that experience happen again, but you've had enough experience around it to contextualize it a bit. And because he's kind of taken it on himself, that he's always been a leader of men. And so part of what he's had to do is take boys who are heading into it, especially in war, and have to, kind of get their mind right. This is okay. You're about to do man things now. It's time to understand what being a man is, right? And over the years, I'm sure this speech has changed a bit. It's added a few things, it's deleted a few things, it's refined a few things, whatever. But you're kind of getting him now at a point where he's, in his mind, he's kind of at the end of life, right? He's decided, yeah, I'm good, I'm done, right? I've contributed all I can do. So you're kind of getting his final version. Right. And so it's going to be as strong as it can be. And then, the kid plays a trick on him.
I would say it's the comedian's farewell tour. He's mastered the craft. And and the speech is interesting because it got me thinking when I was watching this. Like, because obviously I'm a dad, and I'm watching this for the Masculine Monday for the masculine purposes. But I don't have a son. I have a girl. I have a child. I have a girl, and so the way that you parent is a little bit different because, believe it or not, boys and girls are different, and you can't change them. It's a fun little biological life.
Fact, you fucking bigot! How dare you?
Bigot? Yeah, exactly.
As who has both, I can confirm. Yeah.
And I found myself thinking about just the way that I talk to my kid when I give sort of like little speeches like this, and it's like the idea is that when I was younger, it would have been like a more brash or annoyed. Why don't you get XYZ? Why don't you understand XYZ? Whereas now it's very much a look, you're 10, you're 11, you're 12, whatever. You think this now. You're not going to in a few years. So I'll go ahead and have the patience to let you have this sort of delusion while trying to guide you in a way that in 10, 15 years, whenever it be, you'll realize why I was right without having to, treat you like you're fucking retarded for not realizing I was right at the age you're at. It
like the long game.
Right. Yeah. It works regardless of the gender because it's a very human thing as opposed to just specifically a masculine thing from the child's perspective.
Yeah, I think the difference is that especially when it's first kid and you're young and all that, kids don't come with owner's manuals, but also kids are tough because they have to survive parents because they didn't come with owner's manuals. But you tend to be like, I'm going to solve immediate behavior type stuff. When they get older and you start to see them see the world in a more wise manner, they're getting knowledge, they're starting to get context, they're seeing some of the gray areas and all that. You kind of have to start operating in a longer term way of teaching lessons where it's not just, let me just solve this in the immediate and there I put out the fire, we're done. That works for a 5-year-old. Don't lick the light socket. Stop that. We're gonna
get that penny out of the outlet for crying out loud.
Yeah. And if you don't, then I'm going to inflict pain, which is going to be less than whatever you got from the light socket, but it's going to, carry the lesson. Yeah. But as they get older, you start to reason with them. You're trying to build the foundation so that they can understand and solve problems going out, right? Your ideal is
rather than answer the question when they ask you a question, you ask them a question,
right? And try and guide them. You go Socratic on them. And the reason is that when they are 18 and able to leave the house and live their own life, they don't need you, right? You're a resource, but they are capable of living their own lives. And yeah, they're going to make mistakes that you saw coming a mile away. So did you, right? And it's like, and guess what? Sometimes that pain is the important thing. It's not get to the goal and skip the travel. That travel and the path that you take with all of the bruises and scars that you build up, that's the reason, right? The goal is almost irrelevant half the time, right? It's how that path, that painful path that you go through, changes you and you learn the lessons that you can. Now as a parent, there's always the impulse to go, oh no, but I don't want them to feel the pain I did or whatever. And I was like, don't cheat your kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like it's funny because you say you don't need them or the goal is so they don't need you, and like I think that's like 70% true. But I find myself like in my 30s, like back to talking about the car stuff, for example. I was mentioning calling my dad. It's not that I don't have friends my age who are experts with cars or great with cars, or other adults I know, or people. The reason I always call my dad is not necessarily because I want my dad to fix XYZ for me now that I'm in my 30s, is because I want to fix this issue with my dad because he's my dad, and I want to have that together. I could do it with my downstairs neighbor Colin. He's great with cars, and I love hanging out with the dude. But I want to do this with my dad.
But that's a preference, not a need.
Right? Exactly.
That they're not dependent on me. I don't want people dependent on me. I want to take people and go, you know what? I'm going to give you the skills to do better than me. But it's on you to do that, right? That's my job, is to prepare you to do better, to go forth and do better than not to give you the easy road where you get to skip all of the learning and all that. Maybe I give you 2 steps ahead because I've warned you about this. That doesn't mean you're not going to step on it, because God knows I stepped on shit that I was warned about.
Right. Does anyone else remember being a kid and like your grandfather, for example, would be like, you're like a young teenager and you'd have to go over and help him with something, and then you would complain to your mom or your dad, be like, why does he need my help with that? And they're like, that's not why he's calling you over to do it.
He doesn't
need you giving me shit. He's doing it because he wants to do it with you. Not even if it's not something you need to learn. It's like he wants to spend the day with you. It's not and then me or whoever's over here complaining like, why do I have to go do that? And it's not the point of the matter. It's to spend time.
2 weeks before Christmas, my old man calls me. Old man is grandpa. That's what I've called him my entire life. So I know a lot of people use that for dad, but like old man is grandfather. Right. 2 weeks before Christmas, old man calls me and he's like, "Hey, I need your help replacing this, this hot water heater. Mine went out. I got a new one, the whole 9." And so I was like, obviously I'm happy to do it. Not only am I happy to help him out, he's my grandfather and whatnot, but again, like you said, spending time together. We must have busted our ass on this thing for like 2 hours. But the thing is, his house was built in a way that it was like physically impossible for us to do without certain tools. And so after about 2.5 hours, it was like, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. He's like, I gotta call that fucking plumber, don't I? And I was like, man, I'm really sorry. I wish I could help you with this. He's like, don't worry, it's not your fault. It's whoever dumbass built this house this way. Like it was a complete fuck up design job from like the 1960s. Whenever that house was built, it was like,
oh yes, everything's jerry rigged and taped together.
I think it might be the first time in my life I'd experienced where me and my grandfather couldn't solve a problem, and it was like, oh, this is a failure.
Yep.
That said, I'd be on Moxie's show in 8 minutes, so I have to bounce. I want to chat you and get through the speech, but
yes, sir.
You mind I give my masculine rating on this movie before we do it?
Absolutely.
So I was sitting there and I was really trying to think about this, like not only after I saw it, but also throughout this discussion and whatnot. And I know that the Bubba Hotep I gave a 10, which I think was honestly justifiable after we did the the tournament. And of course, who comes out on top, what ends up winning. And while I can't necessarily find any flaws in this film in terms of its masculinity, I can't think of any. I also think that it doesn't quite hit the same primal masculine high that Bubba Hotep does in terms of like just it's got very similar themes, very similar ideas, but because of the element of adding the child, because of the element of the end being something to live for, that is this sort of youthfulness. Some look at that as a boon, and maybe I'm wrong in my conclusion to it, but I have to give this one a 9.5 as opposed to a 10. I think Bubba Hotep, yes, using the bar for comparison, does do it a bit better. It is a bit smarter. It is, this movie is incredible. I'm so glad that this was my first time getting to see it, was to watch it with this critical eye. I'm glad I don't have any sort of nostalgia for it, because it allowed me to really take this movie in, but also get lost in it at the same time. But I also have to try and find a way to keep my arguments and measurements and whatnot consistent when we're using numerical based judgments. So I think I have to give this a 9.5 just because it does miss a slight bit of that mark because of the childhood aspect and the youthful aspect.
Yeah, I think this one it gives the characters an option that the plot for Bubba Hotep didn't have. So they'd already kind of screwed up with their kids, and they can't fix that.
Right. They can't. Right. Exactly.
In this one, they do. But I would add that Hub is not just fixing Walt. That whenever he encounters, boys very soon to become men, and they're demonstrating that they're not ready. He's here to kind of reset their understanding of the world, and then give the speech to prepare them for that, right? And he's been doing this for a good long time, and so he's still invested in like the larger community and the outcomes of people that I think that with Bubba Hotep, they're so much older that they have a much more constrained domain that they can operate within.
And that's why I think Bubba Hotep does edge this out. Is I think that the constraints add to the masculine factor. That not that this film does it bad. This is an expertly crafted film. I just think that kind of like when when it comes to video games, the more constraints you have, the more creative you have to be, and I think that's why Bubba Hotep gets the edge.
I mean, it does have to invoke supernatural magic bullshit in order to do it. Yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All righty, crew. I will see you on the flip flop. Excellent show. Thank you for having me on. Enjoy the rest of it. Everybody, make sure you sub to this man. Send all the super chats. It has been awesome, and I will see y'all on the flip flop.
Good to see you, man.
Leon.
You can see this movie, Leon.
Appreciate it. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I was so happy I did. Later, crew.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Later,
brother. Yeah, I realized that there's a line before he gets to the ones we watched. He's just talking about just believe in it, right? Like he says, I'll just play the clip.
Around my mom, all I hear is lies. I don't know what to believe in.
Damn, if you want to believe in something, then believe in it. Just because something isn't true, that's no reason you can't believe in it.
True words. True words, you know.
And part of that is by believing in it, maybe you make it true.
Right. Yeah. And that actually comes into hand later on.
He's not instructing him to believe in something untrue. He's just saying he's saying you can. He's not saying, he's not giving that as a recommendation.
Right.
Well, he's saying if you want to believe in it, you have to believe in something.
Right. You gotta believe in something.
Right. You can't be aimless. You need a rudder.
Yeah. You can't just be you. That's what May is.
That's true.
Yes.
Yep. That's very true.
100%. What's also true is sometimes, again, young lads misstep and they come across an old dude and they have no idea and they just think he's an old guy. And then you do some real stupid and you try and take the man's sandwich. And a fire breaks out.
Never mess with a man's food, ever.
Well, none of that. He warns them.
Yeah.
You don't want none of this smoke. And they're like, oh, no. We're young, dumb, and full of cum. Here we come. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, have fun.
Yeah.
He's instructing him how to use the knife. It's hilarious.
This is my dad's favorite scene. I remember being a kid watching this with my parents. It's like, hell yeah. He loves this scene.
I've said even earlier, Isaac, I put into the chat. Yeah, like that's so good with it, Nick. The fact that this got like 50 million fucking views on YouTube. This one 4-minute sequence says a lot about this film.
Right now, I'm editing a video from October when my dad and I went out metal detecting and exploring copper mines. So this conversation is extremely relevant. That's so awesome, man. That's so cool.
I mean, again,
make really good videos too. Really well made.
So my dad died when I was 17. But like when I was in junior high, I was taller than my dad because he was 5'10", and probably weighed like $160.
Amen.
But when I was a junior in high school, I was 6'4", probably 190 and nothing but muscle and lean and there you go and could outrun him and probably could outlift him and all that. But at no point was I under the illusion that I could, in any way physically challenge my dad. In fact, my dad could have been paralyzed from the upper lip down, and I'm certain that he could have kicked my ass with his eyebrow.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah. It's
funny. My dad's 6'3" and I'm 6'2". He holds it over me to this day.
You
never quite grew up. He does like the whole Trump thing. You never quite grew up.
You never quite got it.
You never.
It was just an inshort, Isaac. It's okay.
Yeah. And it's like I'm 6'2", so I'm feeling kind of okay. And he's like, "Well, you never got to 6'3", and like your grandfather, you're not 6'4". You came up short. You know?
Yeah.
So, but then I remind him I'm not bald like you, so I don't know what to tell you. You know,
I have the benefit of having a full head of hair and being 6'5", although my 6'5" may be shrinking because age is starting to get to me a bit.
It can do that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, fortunately, my dad, like, he had his stroke when he was 50, and then he passed away at 51. But during that year, he had 2 stents put in, and not seems a good one. But I was 25, and even after his heart attack and 2 stents put in, I still could imagine Dad with both hands tied behind his fucking back would still fucking wash the floor with me.
Yes. Yeah. My dad's even made it clear. He's like, if you really screw up, he's like, even if I'm elderly, he's like, I'll use weapons. I don't care. He's like, if you do something heinous, he's like, if you ever really like, he's like, I will keep you in line. Regardless. Yeah. He's like, I don't care if you're 50, I'm going to keep you in line.
That's always fun part too. How people go, it's like my father survived like gunshot wounds and stabbings and broken legs and this and that too. But heart failures will get you. It's like,
yes.
And of all the things that kill him, man, it's like fucking the stroke, man. It's like the stories my father did were like almost like hub, and I'm like, that's the one thing that gets you is the heart, man. Like, damn, it's good fucking cholesterol.
Yeah. So I think for again this whole scene obviously is super popular. And how could it not be? But again, I think the masculinity here,
the payoff is when they bring him home.
Yes, you see, it's like, okay, well, he's obviously, the violence is, it's brief, it's proportional, but it's also very instructional. Again, you're gonna come at me with a knife. Well, hold on, before you do that, there's a shotgun here. But
don't do it this way.
Yeah,
no, you need to hold it underhanded. You try and stab in. Don't the stab down like Psycho. Right. No, that ain't working.
Yeah. But like again, like as Garth says, like try not to kill him. So like there's automatically a restraint that Hub is turning down the meter, and he's like, all right, well, I won't go too hard, but I'm gonna give them a lesson. I'm gonna give them a verbal lesson and then a physical lesson.
Yeah.
To again, just we're gonna talk calmly here.
I love how Garth tells you three better get in there and help him.
Yeah.
Imagine hearing that.
All those trick in the book.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, like Hub was just minding his business here. He wasn't seeking any sort of conflict.
This is the young man, nearing, he's in high school or maybe just out or whatever. He's not a real man yet, but he's he certainly should know better. But it's the youth, they tend to run a little wild, and you need somebody to yank the chain. And if there isn't a dad to do it, then there might be an older man out there that's more than willing to do it for him.
I don't know what's that exactly the same, but I love this scene reminds me of in Nobody, the bus scene where just like he freaking Hutch. Hutch just wants to blow off steam. And anybody, I was watching my friend busted laughing. He goes, that's just a guy where like he's pissed off with his bullshit mundane life, and Hutch purposely just wants to just whoop some ass just to get it out of his system. And that's all Hub is doing, just like Hutch is he's holding back on purpose. But
and remember, he was just in the hospital too.
So and he's not happy about
it. He's pissed about that.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, well, how about you just take this one guy out, and after you've done the one guy, then you can fight the other three. And it's like,
yeah, all right, here we go.
All right.
And on a total side
note,
kid. I really want to buy a pearl-handled stiletto now too. It's stuck in my head now. I really want to get one.
Your switchblade, yeah.
Well, I just mentioned earlier, as a good one said, also like Robert Duvall, his stats, he's reportedly 5'9". Maybe generously 5'10". Again, he's not the fucking Rock. He's not Schwarzenegger.
He's smaller than all of these kids.
Yeah.
But the second he grabs him by the fucking neck, I'm like, I've been there. The old man grip, like, oh shit.
I was on a
kid was scared shitless.
Like vice grips.
Yeah. A man who's worked with his hands his whole life. Yeah.
Exactly. Policies he must fucking have, man. Like
I was on a train going to Michigan. And we had to hit Chicago first and then switch over. And it was during the NFL draft. And I noticed a kid that was on the train. And I was like, oh, he plays for K-State. He's a defensive lineman. And so I asked him, I was like, you going home to kind of watch, the draft, see where you're picked? And he's like, yeah, family and all that stuff or whatever. And so I kind of talked to him a bit, and so one of the things that I mentioned was it was like, you ever get into any real trouble, like in Aggieville or anything like that? And he goes, no. He goes, but growing up in Chicago, I had a buddy and I went into this bar, and my buddy decided he was going to lip off to this old guy, and apparently it's like my buddy apparently had never heard of Old Man Strength, but he found out
until
and he's described his buddy was 6'4", 300 pounds. And Old Man just latches onto him, and that's the end of his buddy real quick. And he was like, now I knew better. And I was like, no, sir, I don't want to eat. I'm fine.
Well, I mean, it's just like it goes to say a 6 foot 220 firefighter is gonna kick a 6'3", 250 bodybuilder's ass. I mean, any day of the week.
Yeah.
It's functional working strengths.
Yeah.
Farm strength, as they say. You're carrying shit all day and
I had a friend, his dad was about my height, and at the time when I was in high school, so about 6'4", and Rusty was a handyman, right? And he used to hey, how you doing? And he would always like try and shake our hands to crush them because his grip strength was just insane, right?
Yeah.
And I learned to just fold my fingers and thumb in, and I was like, his palm is so wide, he can't actually get a hold of anything. It's a crush. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? It may have felt like the gayest handshake ever, but my hand is still intact.
Right. My hand is not crushed.
Yeah. I still have all the bones.
To mush. Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's watch this part one.
Hey, old man. How's that barbecue? Give me some.
We're busy. Before we get lost, all right?
What did you say?
That was the warning.
Yeah.
Just please push him.
He gave him the FA, right?
Yeah.
Fuck around.
Yeah.
That was the snake. That was the snake rattling its tail.
Yeah.
That was the lion literally going, I'm growling. You step a bit further, your ass going back a bit. So watch yourself, and then look, kid can't take a hint.
Here's a perfect example of what I've been talking about. Since this boy was suckling on his mama's tit, he's been given everything but discipline. And now his idea of courage and manhood is to get together with a bunch of punk friends and ride around irritating folks too good-natured to put a stopper to it.
But generations don't change because now we have social media doing the exact same thing.
Again, every generation thinks that they are new and innovative. They are not. Every young man, every generation of young men have fucked around and found out.
I gotta say, just as a side note, I think I sent this clip to you, Isaac, on X.
Yes.
The
FAFO, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
that
a
was
recent.
Today.
Today. Yeah. So context.
Glorious.
It takes this location somewhere in the northern Midwest. State.
Midwest. Yes.
And being obnoxious, thinking that I'm a come in here, and be a hard ass. And
I have special dispensation and protection, and found out no, the rules apply to you too.
Real quick, and that was a slow decline. Like he was going through.
I did not watch that video 30 times in a row whatsoever.
Yeah, I certainly did not laugh through the entire thing at all. But.
FAFO is a glorious thing. It really is.
It really is. And I mean, I think it's one thing like being a bit older, so you're going to places and you're just seeing like, it's like, man, am I at that age when I see these young kids, I'm like, fucking idiots. Like they have no respect, dignity, no integrity. I'm like if my first thought is these kids need to be taught a lesson, then I'm just like, well, it's again nothing new because
not only that, Hub diagnoses it. Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
These are children that have been given everything and haven't had discipline.
No discipline.
Well, I guess it's time to dispense it now, right? Because again, when we were first raising our kids, we kept running into people of our age They're like, I just want to be friends with my kids. I was like, I ain't got no 5-year-old friends. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, do I need to put you on a list? But the bigger thing is that, look, I'm here to introduce the world to my kids, but I cushion it because I love them. The world does not.
Right.
And they're lucky they run into Hub, who actually does care enough to teach them a lesson, but then also give them the speech. Let me just correct your shit, right? Run into another grown-ass man, and he'll just knock your ass the fuck out and then walk away and be like, yeah, I'll have it to go.
Yeah, the four of them are so lucky they didn't have like permanent limps and scars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, their arms were working pretty good when they were holding the rifles, kind of not too long after. That was a little bit of a jump, but
well, motivation helps.
Maybe it was the adrenaline of like, holy crap, a lion's here.
I'm sorry, a lion? Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Yeah, hand me the gun.
Yeah, let's back up the guy who just beat our asses.
Yes.
Who just gave us a bunch of firearms too. Like, okay, like maybe it doesn't hurt as much, but yeah.
Hey, who do you think you are, huh?
Just dumb kid, huh? Don't kill him. Bye.
I love the look on Walter's face there, dude, so much.
Oh shit! Uncle Hub is real.
Oh god!
I had an uncle who we called, that if a child was acting up in a restaurant or somewhere like that, right? My uncle would turn and then give them the evil eye.
Oh yeah.
And it was one eye that he would suddenly make real fucking big, and the eyebrow would come up or whatever, and kids would stop in mid tantrum just because they saw that. They were like, oh shit, that's an apex predator. He about to fuck me up.
That happened to, I remember that. There's a couple times, you're at church or whatever, and you make a little too much noise, and the old guy looks at you the right way. You're not making noise anymore at all.
Yeah, you're like, Mom says, that motherfucker don't love me, and he looks irritated. I better shut the hell up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that for the start of that scene, which we'll get into in just a second here. But the fact that, again, Walter's been hearing some stories, and then just sees Uncle Hub just like, pull a Mortal Kombat, finish him. Like, dude's about to give him a fatality, but not quite, because it's like just.
Not only that, but Garth leads it in. He's just a dumb kid. Don't kill him.
Yeah, it's just a dumb kid. Like, just. I'll be right back. Just to
we got Walter's witnessing all this. We're like, oh shit.
What is this? What is
but he also has
here?
sense enough to grab a shotgun, because he did just get out of the hospital, so you never know.
Yeah,
you might need a little backup, but still.
I mean, I remember I was probably like 11, and my dad was a big animal lover. I mean, he brought home a barn owl one time. And because it was injured, and nursed it back to health or whatever. He would bring home snakes, for fuck's sake. He would stop on a highway and like move a snake off of the road so it wouldn't get run over and shit. I ain't touching snakes. The hell with that. But one day we were walking, and there was a guy with a dog, and he had the lead, and he was whipping the dog with the lead. And we're on the other side of the street. And the next thing I see is my dad crossing the street, snatching the leash from the guy and hitting him in the face.
That's awesome.
And then just stood there go ahead. And the guy's like, what the fuck? And he was like, don't do that to a dog. And hands him the leash back. And the guy just stand there. And then dad comes walking back, and I'm like, my dad is real. What the hell? Yeah, I was Walter right there with that face. Oh, shit.
Yeah. And plus, you can see,
it's funny, it's kind of similar, but like I never saw my dad get mad when anyone crossed him, like ever. But there was once or twice when someone would cross me, and especially when you're being like an older teenager, if someone stands up to you or whatever, it's interesting. I saw it kick in for dad, like with the family. If someone crosses a family member, for him, he didn't care. But for other people, it's like, yes, that's when.
Yeah, I remember picking up a 12-year-old. By his shirt, and then raising him up to we were face to face, and explaining to him exactly how badly things were going to go if he didn't shut the fuck up and stop bothering my oldest daughter.
Yeah.
That was the last time he talked to her.
Yeah.
Yep. And then obviously I have in two parts, so two more parts here, but just the things that he says here while continuing this vice script is epic.
Hub McCain. I fought in 2 world wars and countless smaller ones on 3 continents. I led thousands of men into battle with everything from horses and swords to artillery and tanks. I've seen the headwaters of the Nile and tribes of natives no white man had ever seen before.
Like,
my God, flipping it out.
Yeah. Allow me to express to you exactly the shit pile that you have stepped in, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that is one big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, the question, who are you, old man? I'll fucking tell you who I am.
I tell
you. You just know, like, he's like, as he's hearing all this, he's trying to process this at the same time as he's being like just choked out. Like, yeah, no, I found out.
Well, not only that, he then goes, "Oh, now I'm going to take care of this." Like, motherfucker, he told you his bona fides. What are you doing pulling a knife on this man?
Yeah. As if the first time wasn't bad enough, now you're going to try it again.
It's so great too, like how fucking he educates me. Remember, don't stab overhand like this. Here's the knife, underhand like this. Come on, son, here you go.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second.
I've won and lost a dozen fortunes, killed many men, and loved only one woman with a passion a flea like you could never begin to understand. That's who I am. Now go home, boy.
And Walter, man, it's every kid like their grandfather or their dad. Like, oh my God,
yeah, my uncle's a fucking badass, bro. Don't mess with him. But like, as he's saying, I just killed many men.
Yeah,
and you decide to draw a knife on him, like that.
But I love his finale. Right, it's I've gone into battle. I've fought in numerous wars on 3 continents and all that stuff. Or whatever, he killed many men, and I've loved only one with a passion that a flea like you could never understand. Right, because that is his apex.
Yes.
That is what he believes is the greatest thing in his life.
It's the key thing. Yeah, it's that out of everything he just listed, that all pales in comparison to the true love that he had.
Yeah.
And he says and that's obviously part of the lesson, the speech that he gives to Walter, right, later on.
And to them.
Yeah. And to them eventually, right?
This is the apex.
Yep.
Right. The love.
I'm your new daddy now. But, I mean, pretty much. It's like y'all.
Your daddy failed you because he did not discipline you. Well, I'm here to correct that. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give you 15 years of discipline all in one go.
Right. Yeah, you guys are getting the expedited course here for discipline. So,
and he knows he's doing them a favor too. He's possibly saving their lives from another old man that doesn't have the restraint to not kill them.
Yeah.
Next time he knows he's doing them a favor.
Well, he's also giving them a chance to be good men, not to continue down the road that they're on, which is to be fuck ups. Right.
Because normal and decent people believe in redemption and second chances too.
Yeah.
Yep. To be better, right? That's the whole thing. Like, just to be better than you were tomorrow.
Well, again, he's diagnosed the problem, right? These children have been given everything and no discipline. It's time to recalibrate their understanding of the world. Now, it's on them from then on to then take that and do with it what they will. Hopefully, they actually become real men. But if they decide to be fuck ups, well, we have prisons for that too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that not the perfect scene? Him just walking in there with the shotgun. It's perfect.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you brought a knife to a gunfight, buddy. But also, don't need the gun because this man is the gun. So. And I think it's just it's a
well, he is making it fair for the other 3. He's like, no, you guys don't get knives. You're gonna have to throw, but there's 3 of you, so that might even it up.
Yeah,
right. It won't, but okay.
He's always hogging the bad guys. He's selfish like that.
Yeah. Some funny, great dialogue too. Like again, just shows the depth of of the writing behind both of them as masculine characters in this moment here, right? Like,
well, again, he doesn't see them as threats,
not
right?
at all.
This is a teaching experience, and so I'm going to teach. Now, it's unfortunate that your parents didn't care enough for you to actually teach you discipline. It's my job now, and I'm gonna have to give you all in one dose. Here we go.
Yep, it's like you skipped grades 7 through 8. Sorry, maybe 7 through 12. Cool. Here's
crash course, baby. Crash course,
baby.
Yep. Total immersion.
We have a slide, Nick, where he has one guy in a fucking chokehold, then stops off and grabs a beer.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, of course I do.
he takes a swig and then pours a little on his head.
He goes, "This it pours it."
Yeah, it's awesome. Maybe you need to cool down a bit.
Oh, yeah. Just chill out, man.
Yeah, you get through, kicking teenagers' asses.
He needs to hydrate.
Come on, Frankie. Get him, Frankie. Cut him. Frankie. Get him, Frankie. Get him. Get him, Frankie. Cut him.
Shoot. Oldest trick in the book.
Oh, okay.
You hold it wrong, son. Not like this. You always do it like this. Smooth. All right?
Smooth. All right.
Exactly. It's like, come on. You're going to be dangerous. Be dangerous.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to try and stab me.
Yeah,
You won't stab me. You never will. But
I'm still going to stick this up your ass. But,
And I just have to say, too, respect for the old man hat, too. I think my great-grandfather had the same exact hat. And might be out of style now, but,
The beanie?
It's the beanie. Well, the kind of like the modified beanie.
It's like
quite a beanie, but
it's like that Navy beanie.
they're made out of like t-shirt material half the time. I mean, the old ones, but
yeah, it's not quite like it's like not like an actual like I have a beanie.
Yeah, not like a winter hat. Just like they would.
No, it's like this. It's like
a skull cap.
It's an undercover. It's an undercover for a helmet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Like surplus. Yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly. Well, like Jeff said, like a sailor's cap. Yeah. I remember a lot of like World War II guys when I was growing up wearing them.
Yep.
Yeah. This is just another funny moment. Like he's just having fun.
Yeah.
He's having fun.
He's also showing Walter in some also subtle ways. Walter's learning life lessons as well, watching his uncle do this shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Walter is also getting a crash course here. Except he's not on the receiving end. He's on the.
Well, these are important lessons to learn. I'll let you get your ass kicked. I'll learn from it without getting my own ass kicked. That's important.
Yeah, you can make the bad decisions, and I'll watch.
Yeah, I'll try and learn from other people's
the consequences.
As well.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I fully understand the discipline that goes into this.
Yeah.
So. And also restraint from my uncle, because he very much could have just eliminated all four of you.
Look at the price on that lunch too, on the right to the door.
Crazy. I know. Oh, dude, I could totally go for some brisket, man.
Oh, yes.
Barbecue. But yeah, no, I mean, he's just having a fun time. And I'll play the next part.
Come on, Frankie. Come on, Frankie, get him. Come on. Okay. Get him, Frankie. Cut him. Come on. Yeah, you got him. Cut him, Frankie. Come on. Oh, stop. You're breaking his arm.
You three better get in there and help.
And again, it's like always the subtle movements, and I'm sure Goodwin knows as guys box, but I know as shoulder taking your arm and twisting it back like this. I can that shit hurt. Fuck, man. Do you understand? Like the subtle, small movements, twisting your shit back. Like, that will take you down.
Yeah, it's just funny is like how, again, like he's not threatened by them. He's just like, yeah, come on, yeah, come on, Frankie, yeah, get him. And I love how he just takes a second to pause and look at the knife, and then just tosses it back, and then Garth just like grabs it and stabs it down. Like just it's.
Yeah,
they're so almost so free about it. They're just like having a fun time. Like, you think this is bad? We fought in again a few different wars. As Hub announced his
I just love Garth going, you three better get in there and help.
Yeah. Your boy Frankie's about to be toast.
Well, he is toast. You need to help him.
Yeah. About to be French toast.
I do like Nick when Garth tells Walter, he's like, the thing is, he needs this worse than I do, but also the subtext of like Garth could help, but like he knows that Hub needs this right now in so many ways.
Yeah, because again, the Hub's had a warning shot, across the bow with the heart thing, and he's mad. Not so much, that he talks about the hospitals and places, it doesn't do any good for you. How would you know? You've never been in one long enough to find out. But it's also, again, this feeds into Hub's. He's not who he was, right? He's had a moment of hey, old man. Throwing 50-pound feed bags around might want to slow your roll a bit. And so there's, again, it's calling into question, what am I good for? What can I do if I can't be who I used to be? And so, he's like, well, he needs this more than I do. 'Cause he needs a little boost of confidence again, to get back to, no, I can still at least whoop 4 teenagers' ass. That's easy. Right. So Garth understands Hub really well, right? And it's that his willingness. Also, I'm not sure how well Garth would do. It might be a little more sloppy in him taking some of these guys out because he's not quite as accomplished as Hub is,
right?
But again, the idea that just let him kind of get his morale back, his self-esteem a little bit.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever used steak as like ice pack before? I can't say I ever have.
That was a thing that was around.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure it would work because it's cold, but still,
Vegetable bags, yes.
Yes, peas.
Yeah, frozen peas.
Frozen peas, corn, stuff like that. I don't remember. I'd have to ask, but I mean, I remember first seeing it happen in The Sandlot. Smalls gets it hurt and then slaps on some meat.
Yeah, I put a couple sticks as black eyes.
Black eyes is where it generally gets applied.
Yep. But I mean, it's again, like the lesson doesn't stop here or at the with him fighting, right? There's a continuation. Like the fact that he brings them all home to continue the lesson,
to feed them too.
Yeah, I mean, there's again to have them talking to you. Like, can we go home yet? Nope, sorry. The lesson's not over. Yeah, again, I'm your daddy now.
It's a very parental thing. I'm going to to apply the discipline, but we're also going to contextualize it, and we're going to have a talk about hey, here's where you fucked up, and here's what's wrong. This is not out of malice. This was here's these 4 wayward youths that unfortunately their parents have failed them. Well, I'm here to fix that, but I'm going to fix it all the way.
Yeah.
Well, he was also in their shoes once too, I'm sure to a degree or another. An old man was once a young man and had similar inclinations. So,
and even if you didn't behave the same way, you fucked up in interesting and new ways. And again, you understand because again, there's a reason he can diagnose it so well. He knows damn well what this is.
Yep. And then again, this is the talk.
Yeah.
The talk that he only gives half to Walter, but he's given the full speech to them. And again, like you point, like at least 2 of them are taller than him, but that really doesn't mean much at the end of the day.
I think they all are.
Maybe
when they're standing,
except for Frankie, maybe. I think Frankie.
Oh, I think Frankie's actually a little taller than him.
Maybe. So at least 3 of them. Frankie might be like an inch taller, but I mean, same thing. Like you'd think based on the group of them of size, he's outmatched. But again, like it's the wisdom, it's the experience, it's the life that he's lived that both of them really did live. That again, the fact that they're coming across him at this age where he's realizing like I just don't have like I used to, but I got
born enough to whoop these.
Yeah, I got enough fuel in the tank to dish out a nice little discipline lesson here. But also, it's like again, if Garth could have gotten involved, like it would have been over 10 times worse. Like, which would have been really interesting to see, because again, like Garth is definitely that sort of, again, that quieter, calm foundation. So I don't know what it would have really have taken for him to get involved. Of course, he's like, I got a shotgun right here. Do I really need to get involved as much as with my hands? I mean, maybe, but it could have been fun to see both of them fighting. It's like, yeah, both my uncles just kicked a bunch of little punked teen greasers asses, or young men, however old they might be, but early
Yeah,
20s,
that's well, I noticed
Like
Waylon's thing.
mid-20s.
I fucking hate that song. If you're like, oh, I'm 40 and I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was, either you're misremembering what it was like to be young, or you were never that good. Right? That you can't just go, oh, I'm going to do that. This is Hub whipping a bunch of teenagers who don't know their ass from their elbow about actual fighting and being dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so he's looking at that going, no, I mean, yeah, I might have just had a mild heart attack and I got mad and left the hospital or whatever. But whipping these kids' ass ain't that hard. Right. Again, it's the when you're a teenager, you think, oh, I'm strong. I've been lifting weights and look at me and this and that, whatever. Run up to a man who's actually worked all of his life and find out what real strength is. Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
the NFL
killed
demonstrates
too.
that. Right. The NFL, when you see guys come in, they've been playing football their whole life. They've been in college programs where it's go to the weight room and eat, and we'll take care of the classes for you. Right. And they go into the NFL and they still need a couple of years to get grown man strength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely need the next level of continued growth, right? So it's I mean,
so these guys are a light snack.
I was saying, and to think about what he actually just went through in comparison to what he's dealt with in his his past, it's like, this is nothing to him. Again, like carrying however many bags of 50 pounds over his shoulder, which again, maybe 5-10 years ago would have been hella easy. He would have done it all himself. Because then you see Garth and Walter just kind of like slide it over. It's obviously looks like, well, it's very difficult for them to do it, but
Hub calls them out. You two old ladies want to get in the car,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Hub. I mean, he really does make it look easy until he's get Bati in the car and then he faints. But I give him fucking props for doing it anyway, right? So, there again, like he doesn't need it. I feel like I'll be stubborn like that at some point. But
well, to be fair, that's the easiest way to carry shit.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a big heavy thing. I can either carry it in my arms, which I'm going to get real fucking tired, or just toss it on my shoulder and then just walk around. I'm fine.
Yep. The last thing we'll talk about is the passing. Obviously, we find out at the end, based on the Sheik's grandson and his son who show up, and obviously it's like, did they really live, or they really did live, right? It's like all the stories that they might have heard, are also true. And the fact that someone, this son and grandson, halfway around the world, heard about these two guys in like this legacy, this legendary story, these brothers, the McCann brothers, who have such a reputation, a respectful,
greatest and most honorable foe.
Right. To get that sort of compliment is just such high regard. And again, it just shows that the masculinity is passed down through example rather than explanation. That, again, throughout everything here that Walter also experiences up until, he's a grown man too, is he inherits, Walter inherits his own character, right? Because of the valuable lessons that he gets from his uncles here. And I think, again, like this whole film, resolves a lot by affirming the truth and the myth, and by affirming that myth and truth can coexist and serve like this same sort of idea or like formation. Basically, again, we see at the start of this movie that a boy becomes a man not by knowing everything, but by believing in something. Again, the speech that Hub tells him, believing in something that's worth carrying forward. Just believe in something. But if you're actually gonna believe in it, believe it. Don't just don't half-ass it, right? Like go take both steps into believing something. And then he does, even when he kicks Stan in the nuts, right?
Yeah.
He
Dare to
believes
defend
the things.
yourself.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Defend yourself, right? Like he embraced that sort of mythology, the warriors.
It's the aspiration,
aspiration.
That's what I want to be in my mind. That's what I am.
Yep. And this goes both ways here. Like, it's not just for the impact that they had on Walter for being this solid foundation for him that, his father, right, who had passed away, and obviously like that May is no mother at all. She's certainly not a role model at the slightest. And the fact that, again, like he's made such an impact and even emotional impact on both of them to the point where when they drive away, and I'll play that scene again, but it's Hub who speaks out. Like, you're
how much money we got?
Yeah, like how much money we got? How much we been? Like, and it's like, I don't think the judge would just take the son and take her son away, didn't give him to two bachelors. And it's like, well,
how much money we got? Well, we can buy him back from.
Yeah. Which I feel like at that point, she probably would have, it's like, oh, I'll take that money I was trying to gold dig after in the first place.
Right,
but obviously there's an even better and greater theme here and lesson and moment, for
you give Walt
May.
a chance to
Walt,
step up, and hey, I'm going to make a demand. See, I don't like that alternate ending better, because the idea that these are mythic figures who are no longer that, right? The Sheik and the his son showing up is more than enough, right? And it gives it the ending. You don't want to gild the lily with this one, right? Again, bury us, next to the damn lion. That's what they want, because their life is done. They've made their contributions. They have done what they can, and let us go away. Our bodies, it's irrelevant. Right.
Well, that's why I said bury me in the garden with the damn tiger and
but
the lion, with the damn lion.
Right.
And he didn't say make a big monument out of me as a warrior or anything.
No, because again, the only effect you can have are the people that you affect in your life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's your legacy.
That's the legacy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love this side. Yeah, when it's coming back and
dude, because he's driving away and then he's looking behind him.
Yep.
As he's leaving,
and says,
and
"Turn
like,
back now."
Yeah, and I'm like, this is a double meaning here. Like, like
set up and pay off, baby. Set up and pay off.
I absolutely love that placement. It is so well done. And obviously, boom, he turns back. All the doggos are super happy, of course. But even the uncles, they're sitting on the porch. They hear this ruckus, and they're like, "What's this?" And they're obviously both.
Well, it's like Garth is like, well, in a couple hours, the sale's going to be around.
I think it's not.
They're trying to revert back to the thing. You can tell Hub is not into it, and then the dogs notice the Walt first, and then they kind of peek up when they see it.
Yep. Yeah, and they're just like, "Come on in, boy, let's go."
Yeah,
get you settled back in, and I mean, I love that there's going to be a couple rules here. I was like, "Excuse me, what?"
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said what?
What would you say? Yeah, I think all of them are fair, aside from the whole
eat more vegetables. That's
eat vegetable part. Like, we're not.
That's so
we're
good.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that shit.
No,
Get out of here.
No.
I'll teach you about the carnivore diet, and we can just eat all that.
Yeah,
all the meat.
You can demand in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up first, son.
Did you know you can eat eggs every single day for the rest of your life and not get sick? Cool, there you go.
Grow
Boom.
more corn and feed it to the chickens and eat them and their eggs. Yes.
I let my food eat vegetables.
Exactly. Yeah. Homegrown organic vegetables here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then obviously as Soul Assassin says, and Walter became the creator of
Calvin and Hobbes.
Which is great. Like Walter, you see the Walter and Jasmine by Walt Caldwell, everything. Like again, like it's like he just figured out eventually, hey, I'm actually a pretty good sketch artist. I can actually draw, and I'm gonna take my whole. He kind of does the same thing, like thinking like
he mythologizes his youth.
Yes, he's like everything I learned about these stories from the mythology. Yeah. I'm gonna do that same thing and apply it to these comics.
And the best myths are the ones that have that are grounded in truth.
Yep. I mean, there's the pig, there's the sign from Africa, there's the lion, there's the soldier in the wheat field. I mean, there's a lot of great things that just pass by, and obviously like there's a couple things I was trying to notice in here and look, but there's like the old jukebox. But again, like he gets the call, and obviously you can realize how it's affected him, right? Here it is. Again, just drawing the old the old farmhouse.
What a cool house too, by the way. Just
it's very unique.
Strikes your eye every time you see it. Yeah,
very unique. And again, just the young boy on the dog there, and then
that's the lion. That's Jasmine.
Sorry, it's the lion. I was that a dog? Right. No. But then the real house.
Well, somebody whitewashed it at some point and did some repairs on the railings, but
yeah,
like the repairs, like it's just like basic repairs were maybe from weather elements, but like it's not like they didn't build a mansion.
No,
right.
It's the same house. They just fixed it up a bit.
Yeah, they
had to. They had a kid.
Red doors.
Yeah. So you could see like even like the porch has some touches, right? Jeff. The walkway. So
later, Jeff.
See you, man.
Later, Jeff. Good to see you, brother. Hope you have a great week, man. But yeah, it's obviously the news that he gets from the local sheriff. To see that flying a plane upside down, which you do see in the sunset, of course, but earlier, a little bit before this, which you think if they're flying under the underpass and doing it rather well, I don't know how they misjudged that, but maybe they're just older.
I'm not sure they were going to try and fly through the barn. Son, do you see that door? That's not going to fit.
It's just definitely misconception of how close the ground was to them.
I think part of it is we go out on our own terms, right? Living life the way that we want to. And
true.
Oh, by the way, we're 90. The kid is well established, an adult. We've met our obligations, and let's go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Doing crazy shit like we always did in life.
Yep.
Well, on top of the sheriff does say that it's a Western trope, but also an old man trope in a military. Is like they both die with their boots.
Die with their
boots on. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Well, which is exactly what they said about Jasmine the lion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That she died with her boots on.
She died with her boots on. All the good characters did, right? And then there's that the will that was left, and kid gets everything.
Kid gets everything.
So the kid gets it all.
Kid gets it all.
It's all his five words.
Yeah. Yep.
And he knows where it is.
Bear's out in the damn garden next to the lion.
A simple request, We'll keep his land, and I don't know if he'll repurpose the money anywhere, but he's the only one who knows where it is, where it's kept. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I do like this ending more.
I love the yacht in the little pond.
Oh yeah, I was
The duck pond. Yeah.
I'm glad to see they used my grandfather's money well. Yeah.
That's what we got. From my
Well, there was that one
gold
traveling
well.
salesman.
Yeah.
In the 10-foot deep duck pond. There's
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I
What a
busted again.
place, man.
Yesterday, I busted out fucking laughing.
Again, like it's just these little subtle moments that are so hilarious.
Well, again, they're so worldly, but if you get the
Yes.
right salesman, they can get them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just again this, and I think this is such the reason why I like this ending more is because again this plays onto the whole mythology that he's believed this his entire life since he was the age of 14.
Well, and that there's two sides to this, right? That the grandson didn't believe the bullshit that his grandfather told him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then he saw the names and he had to check it out because
Right.
like,
Is it
really
true?
really and it shows up
here.
and, oh shit, yep.
I'll fly over real quick, and then it's like, oh wait, they raised you?
Yeah.
Oh damn, like. Okay, so that yacht definitely, and obviously, I'm sure he's flying in and was like, "Oh well, yep, that seems like a yacht to me, just not a large body of water." But, but yeah, it's also the comics that he's again that Walter has adopted, right? I'm gonna take the same ethos, but put it into my life now. And you can kind of see it here in this scene where he's just it's starting to click, and it's like, oh my god, like I already believed it. I spent majority of my
but now he's
life
getting
believing it,
confirmation,
but, right? Like it's like
Again,
doubling
it's one
down.
thing you can believe it whether it's true or not. Now he's finding out no, it's true.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely something similar about it's hearing about it, and just that confirmation just adds that's the fucking chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's the
Yeah. Look at the Texas flag on the back end of it.
I need to know
the Texas flag. It's anchored too. Like
I gotta have an alternate scene with them showing how they got that there and anchored. I need to see this.
Trust me, that salesman was full service.
He had to get a large truck or something. I was like, I don't know how he would have transported that thing out there, but
I mean, it's bottomed out. Obviously, it's not even floating. At that point.
Oh yeah. It's definitely which is funny because it's anchored too. It's just like
well, you don't want that thing to float away or anything.
That's true. Yeah, it could get blown over, right?
Yeah.
So
walk out there, a pitcher of iced tea, and just have a fucking fishing line. Like
shoot some catfish with the shotgun as they do.
Yep.
Shooting some skeet off the top of your yacht.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be kind of awesome, though. Yeah.
You see a car salesman pull up. You're sitting on your yacht, just like, hey, we're over here. It gets closer, you start shooting at him.
Yep.
That's only
get off my lawn.
Yeah, rock salt's not going to hurt that bad.
Let's see how dedicated he is.
There is so much to fucking dissect with that picture alone.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Is that like an air traffic control tower out in the distance? Maybe.
No, water tower right there.
Water tower, maybe.
Yeah, I think a water tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. There's the guest house. Now, if Walt moves out there, it's like, what does he do with that now?
Isn't that like the yacht that Gabe, the guy who owns Steam, I forget his last name. Doesn't he have like
Newell?
the biggest yacht in the world? Yeah. What's his last name?
Newell.
Yes. Yep. Him. Yeah. He's got like the biggest yacht in the world, I think, or one of them. Just living it up. You love to see.
Yeah, but it's a good ending. Getting just the confirmation that they emboldened his life and everything that they stood for. That he definitely he goes through and achieves the affirmation, inspiration, and aspiration, like to be the man that they wanted him to be. Right. He took those lessons to heart.
Yeah, and he doesn't become them.
Right.
Yeah.
But he does become a man that follows the rules that they wanted him to do. And again, you don't have to try and copy.
Yep.
Somebody else but you do need to learn, like, the fundamentals and the principles, and then apply that how you want to live.
Yep.
Yeah. Plus, I'd headcanon too that later on these two got together once he brought his kid back, and they met up and they had drinks, and these two became friends, like just comparing stories, like what was true.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I know, right? That was sort of like my own headcanon, like that they were friends to a certain extent, right? Like they kept in touch, got together for dinner or something like that. Because obviously both of them are wealthy now. So I mean, like,
and they're trading stories,
right?
Just because their family were enemies doesn't mean they have to be. They got over it,
Well, they respected each other, right? And so,
exactly right. Yeah.
And the thing about like so many wars, when you talk to the veterans afterwards, I mean, they have more in common with the people they fought than they do with civilians. Because everybody was experiencing the same thing. They understand that it was their duty. The Civil War, they used to come together all the time and, give big hugs and then, hey, Johnny Reb. And
of course,
and here you go. Right. That nobody but them understood what each other went through.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like Patton and Rommel or whatever.
Yeah.
He read his book and admired the hell out of him, even though they were enemies,
Yeah. And I've used interviews too with different veterans, even in World War II, for example. Later on, they may sit down, have a drink with somebody who's from Asian descent or just even German descent. Like, boy, that was some rough shit we went through. We survived, huh? Like,
yeah, I mean, you see it with Vietnam vets going to visit Vietnam.
Yeah.
Well, they're 100%. Also visiting their families over there.
Some are.
Yeah. So in some cases, yeah.
So let's do a double question here. Which scene do you guys think invokes the most masculinity, and then what's your masculinity rating from 1 to 10?
Good, Isaac.
I would say number 3 for this. Which scene invokes the most masculinity? The speech, definitely. Because I mean, all the other scenes are great. The passing, the fight, stories, arrival, but no, Uncle Hub's speech, what it means to be a man. That's the most masculine. From that, I would say I give it a 10. This is one of only 2 movies I'm ever given a 10 on Masculine Mondays on the masculine rating. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Blue, what about you?
Damn, hard one for me. I will say the sandwich fight only because, as Goodwin, we've all been there, that there is so much to unpack. I mean, we could do a fucking hour and a half dissecting just that scene, but the life lessons he's teaching them, the life lessons that Walter's going through, also his brother Michael Caine, can't think of his name right now. He's letting Hub lay off his steam, and just, yes, like as Goodwin said earlier, a different situation, Hub could have dismantled these kids easily, and he's discovering himself and his own like lot in life right now and coming out of the hospital, but also teaching life lessons, and they all 5 are fantastic in their own way. But just I love the fact that, and it even leads to the aftermath of like the whole steak scene, showing the old man's strength and showing the whole younger kids what they have to learn these lessons. And it's just it's just, everything about that scene. And like Goodwin said, the whole like I've only loved one woman my entire life.
Yep.
And with
a passion that a flea like you could never
never understand.
And top of like, and also how many fucking men in any generation, any point in history said that I was involved in 2 world wars. Holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And numerous others across 3 continents.
I'm like, yeah, they said, and Goodwin said, then he grabs a kid by the fucking throat and then he gives a speech and like, you know what we're gonna do? We're all gonna pull out fucking knives. Then it's also 4-on-1, and he still washes the fucking floor with all 4 of you. And if he wanted to, could easily either kill you or permanently fucking injure you, and just like basically just fucking it's like slapping around a 5-year-old. But and people know this discipline. The discipline is that he actually could really hurt them, but some of your best life lessons are learning. This isn't a teenage version of a spanking. Simple as that. He could seriously
much,
but he's not. And that's why I said I love all 5 of these. That for all those reasons why I'm picking the sandwich scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to divorce 3 and 4 because the sandwich fight results in Hub giving the speech to those boys. He gives them the full speech because they need it, and he again he's not kicking their ass out of malice. He's kicking their ass because nobody else cared enough to discipline them, so he's gonna. But he's also gonna then give the lesson. And hey, here we go. This is masculinity. Yeah, well, he's not by choice for one anyway.
Right.
Everything after that seems to be voluntary. But Hub's speech to Walter is probably the one that you should perk up and listen to.
Yeah.
Because it really carries the message.
Yeah.
But I really think the sandwich fight is the better one because if you include the part where he gives them the speech, because these aren't relatives. He's not invested in them other than seeing, soon to be men on the wrong path, and he's going to fix that. Right. There's that masculine investment in the next generation. Even though he can't stand his relatives, he doesn't want to have anything to do with them. Walter is he's still annoying to him, he's starting to grow on him a little bit, but he hasn't quite got there yet. That's really where Hub's speech, 3 comes in, is when he kind of fully embraces him, and takes it on. But yeah, I think the sandwich fight is, if you include the speech afterwards, that's the peak masculinity, because it so exemplifies what you should do. That when you see somebody going off course, you can look at it and go, that's someone else's problem. But Hub's like, nah, I'm not having it. Now, if they don't take my correction and learn the lesson, well, that's on them. But I did intervene and do, what should be done. To give them the best chance of success in life.
Right.
And as a masculine rating, this movie's a 10.
Yeah.
Fully agree. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Same for me. And I guess I could have special a little bit more, but 3 for Uncle Hub's speech was to Walter, but I agree that the sandwich fight should include the part where, again, he brings the
teenagers home, and then obviously it's like the last thing, as like we showed it here on the slide, like it's him talking all 4 of them, and that's it. Right? Because it starts with them and it ends with it starts with them, Frankie picking a bone with Hub, but it ends with Uncle Hub talking all 4 of them and being like, listen, here's what y'all need to know about. I'm gonna give this speech because it looks like no one's told you these things in life, but these are the things that you're gonna need to know. Because if you ever do this again, you actually might die. Well, or your life will be a fuck up if you don't.
Or it'll be ruined. Yeah.
Become a man. That's why I'm giving the speech. It's again the speech is reserved for people ready to become, but that doesn't mean you ever do.
Right.
But the reason he gives you the speech is so you will, and that you have the best understanding of it.
Not only may he, if he doesn't give them that lesson, not only may he die, but he also may not live too. Is a big point. Like Goodwin, you were saying, it helps him to become a man. Surviving is one thing, but to thrive and to lean into your role, as a man and growing up and just being a productive man. That's what he's gifting to him as well.
It's the last line, that they really did. Yeah, they lived. They really lived.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
They really lived. Yeah. I love that's the last line. It's so meaningful, and it's just so true. And I think what happened that we didn't really hear it, but this was definitely playing when Hub was given his speech to the 14s. This is definitely what was happening.
Exactly. And they said, no, it's probably the titties.
It's probably the titties, but
Yeah.
they might not have been old for that yet, but we'll see.
No, they're about to
Maybe.
become men. That's why he was. That's why he didn't tell Walter that part.
Right?
I
Yeah,
like
I'm
to,
gonna stop at that point.
To say with Hub too, it was also the power in his hands too. You could also say that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when Hub was talking to teenagers, the four of them, they're smiling. So they're smiling at Hub almost like they admire him, and there's so
Well,
much
they're
on
chuckling because you can tell he's kind of saying some awkward stuff. It's probably about women, and he's like, "All right." And by the way, this is how you love women too. So here you go.
That's a great story to tell your grandkids. Yeah, me and my four friends were being morons. We pulled out knives as an old man. They took us back home. They cooked the steaks. They knew also he had a line in his backyard. And your grandkids are like, Grandpa, shut the fuck up, you drunk.
Yeah. This old man kicked my ass and my three friends, then brought us back, gave us first aid. Then there was a lion.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice story.
It's time to put Grandpa in the nursing home with Elvis and JFK.
Yes.
Yeah. Also in Texas.
Yeah.
As many times we've all four has been there, like the whole thing when truth is stranger in fiction. There's things I've seen where I'm like, if I told this story, no one's going to believe me, and
that's always my favorite. But so I have a good friend that spent a lot of my career working with in one way or another, and my youngest went out to Seattle with her husband, and they were going to go and stop and meet Glenn, and so he's like, "I'll come to the house and all that," and so they show up and so they're talking, and Glenn starts telling them stories about me, and my youngest is like, "Wait, my dad did what?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you haven't heard that story?" She's like, "No." And so she comes back and she's like, "This, whatever." And it's like, if I told you that, you'd have just been like, yeah, Dad, whatever. But because you heard it from someone else, no, that happened. Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I heard about Vietnam stories, through secondhand, through someone who knew someone I was related to. The person passed away. I never heard the stories from him, but I knew someone who knew him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, he did that over there." I'm like, "Oh, he never told me that." Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that was my great uncle, who was a Merrill's Marauder in World War II, dropped into Burma and was basically, "Okay, have fun. We'll try and occasionally drop supplies if we can."
Right.
But if you met him, you'd never know it. He was an architect. He was very quiet, easygoing. The only person that I know that could get stories out of him was my cousin, who was a Marine DI and that did 3 tours of Vietnam. And he would basically talk about how easy they had it in Vietnam compared to, my Uncle Bill, who was in Burma. And occasionally Uncle Bill would tell a story. And if he started talking, you shut the fuck up and listened.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Just to top it off, I'd say it's definitely a 10 for me. And again, this is going to be something we'll have to remember at the end of this year when we're talking about the masculine bracket.
Oh, the trophy is going to have to be renamed the Hub, commemorative trophy.
Right. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
But just overall, again, this is definitely a movie that Hollywood doesn't write this style of movie anymore. In any regard.
It's so surprising that you had Big Fish and this movie come out the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Return of the King too. A couple months later. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, again, 2003 was such a great year for movies. Majority of those years were back then too. So it's like it didn't start getting terrible until like the late 2007. Yeah.
2014 into 2015 is when it starts to go shit sideways.
Yeah. So it's going to be, it'd be nice to see more movies like this.
I would say for those of you who have not seen this movie, fix that shit real quick. But the other thing I would say is watch Big Fish, which is a really good kind of parallel with this, which is a grown child trying to resolve issues with his father and kind of the stories that he heard, and he just thinks his father's been full of shit the whole time, and then nope.
Well, about that.
Yeah.
Big Fish. film.
Isaac, what do you have cooking for this week for yourself?
Well, this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be on Jeff Up North's channel. We're talking history again. We do that every week on his channel.
Nice.
And then, of course, on mine, this upcoming Monday, we're going to be having the Golden Age podcast, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have a very, very big guest booked for that day. So not going to say it yet, but I highly recommend checking it out. We're talking just culture war, politics stuff, current events, and lighthearted humor. Sometimes some of the clips that Nick sends me are very helpful too throughout the week. So I appreciate it.
I was keeping you in mind, bud.
Yeah. If I could just give one last very quick story about this movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I saw this movie initially when I was like single digits years old, like maybe 8 or 9.
Damn.
And liked
Giant
it. My
Master.
parents are like, homeschooled kid, this is a good, wholesome movie to watch at that age. And then I got older. I was like 13, 14, 15. I'm like, this movie sucks now. It's so corny. It sucks. You're like a 14-year-old boy. It's like you want to see cool stuff. And then getting older. Now I'm in my 20s, in my mid-20s, getting older. And I'm like, this is the greatest movie of all time. I love this movie so much.
Yeah.
It speaks to my heart and soul. But I remember as a teenager saying even to my parents, I'm like, this movie's so boring. It's so corny. I didn't understand stupid teenage boy,
Yeah.
Well, again, your brain turns off, when puberty hits,
exactly.
and then
Yes.
here we go. But
Yes.
I'll tell you, this movie only gets better the older you get.
I can imagine.
I was just about to say the fact that it's been a little while, but being older and watching it, I'm like, man, this is. I definitely slept a bit on how valuable this movie actually is.
Big time. Big time.
So, and again, do you think about? It doesn't surprise me of the year that it was released and the value, the quality of writing and the themes that go into this. Of course, the acting is just superb as well, but to just also think about the masculinity that we're talking about now too, which is great. It's a new light to kind of look at these movies that we might have seen a couple of times, or it's been a while, or the thousandth time we've watched it. But yeah, like it's fantastic to do this again, and again, it's a lot of good movies that I think we've got booked this year alone.
Big time. Yep.
But again, it's yeah. Great movie. I definitely think a lot of people should watch it because it's PG too, man.
Yeah,
like that's
why I saw it so young.
So well done, and again, it's like this is a PG for a reason because it's not, too violent for the sake of like you watching it as a young kid. Like I just saw Dragon Master say right here, boom, 2nd grade, right? What are you, 7 years old in 2nd grade? About that, right? Like
that's around the time I saw it. Yeah,
7 or 8.
Yeah. So.
Well, and again, this is a movie that it's written
17.
like a lot of bitch. Don't get me started. I was 33.
This movie came out when I was 3, so I didn't.
Yeah,
well,
I was 33. So the thing about this movie is like a lot of classic children's movies. It's written on multiple levels, right? If you watch this as a kid, you're kind of watching it from Walter's point of view. Right. When you watch this as an adult, you then realize, oh, the old men are actually learning something from Walter as well, and that feedback from both sides. That's the kind of smart writing we are desperately in need of.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like it. Yeah, I think if we would get more movies like this, I'm not saying every year, but every couple of years, especially in the last little over a decade, the last dozen years, I feel like a lot of people could be better off, could be in a better place, emotionally, mentally, physically, their well-being. Not saying that this movie is going to fix and cure things, but again, if you watch something like this at a young age and you remember it and it sticks to you like anything else would, and again, that's kind of what we've always looked at, these movies of us growing up and remembering all the classics. Some of these movies that we've talked about that I saw, whatever it was, Terminator, Rambo, Rocky, whatever, all these great movies. over time. I'm not saying Rocky is a great movie, but like same thing. Like I watched Lord of the Rings, as a kid, and the impact it had for me, or Star Wars, right? Like the impact it had on me. Like I mean, you remember that, and you stick to that, and it has an impact on you, and you growing up, and you see things, and obviously if you have good parental units that teach you the quality of life, it kind of goes in it because you can remember things about, in the movie. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know that Pops definitely, gave me a nice little whooping there because I messed up, but also all these other, I FAFO'd, or I got that, discipline lesson that old Frankie and his buddies also got from Uncle Hub, so there's a lot of similarities that could happen. This movie isn't so far fetched in the grand scheme of things. At least like the main themes and the reflections that are in this movie, which is quite great too. So
yeah, and I think these kinds of movies, I mean, as Waylon pointed out, they're not regularly made, and I don't think they really should or could be. But it seems like maybe every decade you kind of need something like this to be a touchstone, right? Because kind of hit every generation with this. I can remember John Wayne movie The Cowboys, where he's having to do a cattle drive with a bunch of kids, and he ends up dying, and the kids have to finish it out or whatever. But it's that transition from being boy to being man, and having an older male guiding you who's not necessarily your parent, or anything, that might be a distant relative. Those have an impact, and we kind of need those on a regular cycle to remind the next generation of that, hey, you need to take the lessons that these old people are offering you, because they've been there and done that and done some shit that you haven't thought of yet. And there's a lot of wisdom that's a repository that you can pull from. I mean, one of the things that I had the benefit of is growing up, I had a decently sized extended family, but we also had a family reunion that was started in 1957. And we came from all over. I mean, like the farthest. So we would meet in Missouri, and we would get people from Washington State and from Florida and all that, right, coming in. And it was like 3 or 4 generations. And so if you were a smart kid, you just hung around and started hearing the stories about them growing up or things like that, right? That they're people from my generation who I'll mention the story, and they're like, wait, where'd you hear that? And I was like, at the reunion, you were there, but you might have been busy doing something else. I was paying attention to what they were doing. But you also have the ability to learn from other family members going through shit, but not having the immediacy of your parent. Because look, if your parents are having problems, it's the end of the fucking world. If your uncle or your aunt or a cousin or something like that, it's distant enough that you still empathize, but you can also realize that, hey, they shit went sideways, things aren't going well, they recovered, you can come back from that, right? And you don't have all of the childhood, I'm the center of the universe shit floating around that, right? And that's a helpful thing. I think these movies kind of have to serve that purpose for a lot of people who don't have the benefit of extended families and the ability to learn from a distance, or have people giving you input that aren't your parents.
Yeah. 100%. Blue, what you got going on this week?
Boy, joking aside, so I told you guys in group chat, taking my kid for January for Regal to see Superman 1978, the part when Pa Kent has his heart attack, and Chris reached over, he's like, Dad, this is way better than Man of Steel. I busted up fucking laughing. And I love to say, going to see Conan and fucking, I've never seen Conan in theaters, and even he's like, Dad, this is fucking great. Because he knows the 80s, obviously, like there wasn't CG, and like Arnold's chopping a puppet snake, but like James Earl Jones was so great. And love seeing his older films next. And also this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I already bought tickets to see a 25th anniversary or something coming out.
Oh, yeah, a little something coming out.
Yeah, small film. People might have
little indie series.
Yeah, it comes from New Zealand, you know.
Oh, yes.
Also the extended editions, which are because I was always told that theaters can't ever hold like 3.5-hour films. Nobody would ever go to see 3.5-hour films.
Yeah, you know, seeing a movie that's like, you know, got a 3-hour, 45-minute
They better have an
runtime,
intermission
something like that. You know,
Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of peeing in popcorn buckets.
Yeah. You know,
so we checking out those Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And just actually I just completed today Doom in the Dark Ages, again, another manly franchise. If you play Doom in the Dark Ages, turn your brain off, get some alcohol. It's pure 80s popcorn retardedness, and it was fucking fantastic.
I've been wanting to play that, to be honest. I've never played a Doom game, and I've been looking at that. Yeah.
Dark Ages, it's every kid in the 80s doing coke, and just every second like, can this get more dumber? It can. And I'm just like I'm enthralled by how stupid like this guy he goes to hell, and you start feeling bad for the demons. Like,
oh my gosh, wow. I gotta check it out.
I'm starting to question like who's actually is the Doomslayer like the actual bad guy?
Doom guy is actually the he's the thing you need to worry about. He's like a Cthulhu like villain, and
especially when he fights a Cthulhu villain and kicks.
Yes, he's like, oh, you thought you were the man. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just played through all the Bungie Halo campaigns with some friends, co-op.
Hell yeah, dude.
And man, I am on a kick for that era of gaming right now. And further back, but like you said, just something simple, good storytelling. Doesn't need no woke shit, you know.
Oh,
hell, fire up Unreal Tournament with some friends and let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Or Quake 3.
Quake
3 Arena, baby. Let's bang.
Yeah, I would highly recommend Doom Eternal, and Doom Dark Ages. Just play as a trilogy, and it's just play and just sit back and drink and have fun. That's
awesome.
Last. Nick. I've seen some films. Like I took my kid to see Green. I'll make a video on Greenland, so don't see it. Trust me, it's horrible. Primate was surprisingly fun. It's just Cujo with a monkey.
Interesting.
That's it. But don't underestimate a chimp. Chimpanzees are notoriously powerful as fuck. Those little bastards are dangerous.
Yeah, and people think they can take down a silverback gorilla, right?
I mean, you can if you have enough people.
Yeah. No, an 85-pound chimpanzee with rabies will seriously fucking tear your face off. They've been known to do that shit, and it's a fun horror film premise.
Chimpanzees.
I have shotgun slugs. I'm fine. I'm not
chimpanzees tend to attack the genitals first.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that may have happened in this film.
They did that in Vietnam.
Might hurt just a tad.
I did like it. It's a dumb film, but I like the premise of just a killer chimpanzee and like how those fuckers are dangerous when you piss them off. So I'll get a video out this week. It's fun. It's a stupid fun horror film. It's 5 Hour Tuesday.
Nice. Mr. Goodwin, what you got going on this week?
I believe tomorrow we have a little something that we're going to be covering. Primal Season 3.
Yeah.
Please, dear God, don't suck. Please, dear God, don't suck. Don't pull an Arcane on me. Don't pull any of that shit.
Yeah, I've not watched episode 1 of season 3
I have
yet.
not either. Nope. Saving it for tomorrow.
Yep. Fresh tomorrow.
Are we gonna do a group watch?
I don't know. I don't know if I think
because Bex hasn't seen it either.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'll see if I can arrange something beforehand then.
Yeah. See if we can pull like an Alien Earth where we just watch it and then
go straight
jump
into
right
it.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Fresh thoughts. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that being said, we're gonna do Trendy TV Tuesdays comes back tomorrow. We're kicking it off with Primal, Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal. Season 1 and 2 are phenomenal. Highly, highly, highly recommended.
Oh my God, yeah. Season 1, the I think it's episode 8.
The Witches one, right?
Holy shit! I mean, when we were covering this, we were covering on Gooch's channel, and those episodes, I mean, like just the beginning, and you were like, uh-oh, Homeboy knows what he's doing as far as like storytelling without any dialogue. It is very much silent movie kind of emoting to deliver everything. And again, without words being said, holy shit, do you run the gamut of emotions. And that episode 8, that's a heart,
I want to watch that show. I definitely want to see that. Yeah.
It's good. And as I told Gordon when we were doing this, he was like, I don't know if I have time. And I was like, I mean, the episodes are really short, man. He's like, oh wow, like they're really short. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, you'll be fine. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah. And
You
he's
have to
going through it,
rewatch
and
the
he's like,
whole
"Oh shit, this is really
Yeah.
good." I was like, "Yeah, isn't it though?" Yeah.
and yeah, Gord's hooked on it. So,
Yeah. The 2003 Clone Wars, I'm a big fan of. So,
I mean, it's certainly the
yeah.
best thing that Lucasfilm put out since '83 or so.
100%. Oh no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
2005.
Nope. Revenge of the Shit
Agree to disagree.
was bad. Everybody goes, "Oh my god, they had the big sword fight that lasted 10 minutes too long, and they go through fucking lava and all that stuff." Heat apparently doesn't exist in this
That's
universe.
the first thing he ever
But
envisioned
thank-
about Star Wars was Mustafar, but okay.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that was when he was also retarded. He also gave us
I mean,
the
it was after a
87.
car accident.
He gave us the
only
97
Clone
special
Wars.
editions.
I've
So
seen some
Hey,
computers,
you
too.
have a point with that. You have a
yes,
point.
yes, and then he continued on and gave us the prequels. You know what generally sucks
God
in
bless him for
all of entertainment? Prequels. You know why? Because you fuck up everything that came after.
Nah,
Remember,
it enhanced it.
Remember, me and my sister going to see special editions in theaters. We're like, I was 15 years old, and like the fucking Jabba, and when Han stepped on his tail, I'm like 15.
I
Like,
hate
why,
that.
I'm like, why does this exist for? I'm like,
Yeah,
this is
sets
awful. Jesus
That
Christ.
that was me when that was again. It's happened with many directors, but that was the moment in the theater when I said, "Fuck you, George Lucas."
My sister actually, I remember we seen Return of the
I
Jedi.
can't-
She bust out laughing when they showed Hayden as the Force Ghost. And
Oh, you motherfucker!
She actually busted out fucking laugh, like
Yes,
like screaming and laughing. She's like,
this
"What the
sad motherfucker.
what?"
This is who you put in here.
The
Yes, I have seen
removing
this.
removing Yubnub is a capital offense. in
Yes.
my
I
opinion.
know.
Yes.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they took out Yubnub. That's terrible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, Han's the only one who shot.
Yeah. Well, 'cause he's a-
Greedo
quick on the
never even had a
Never.
chance to reach. No.
Yeah,
Han Solo's a scoundrel. He's quick on the trigger. What can I
Yeah.
say?
He was like, "I know what you're about." Bang.
Oh.
I wanted to do like reaction of this. I watched it before realizing what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's this? I'm like, oh, this is actually super dope. But yeah, really, really well done. It's got the Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars style, but for Helldivers, it's good stuff. Beyond tomorrow, might be making guest appearances on Zach's stream to talk about movie battles that are in weird genres, of course. And we vote on which year has the better group of movies. And then I think I'll be on ABF's Off the Hip on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I've been doing gaming streams again on Thursday nights, just chilling. Been playing Helldivers as that's approaching the 2-year anniversary, which is kind of crazy, but the 2-year anniversary mark will be coming up soon. So we'll either be back on Helldivers this Thursday, or I might be I don't know, might play some Arc Raiders, might stream some Arc Raiders because that game is just super fun. But yeah, I will be seeing Fellowship of the Ring this coming Friday for sure.
When
So,
when are you gonna man up and play Soma?
on stream,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I'd like to play on stream, honestly.
Soma will make you ask some very difficult philosophical questions.
I don't know. I'll look into it.
I've never even heard of it. So
I know that Cindy did her first stream on it, and then she was going to do her second one, and sadly, Shiny Objects showed up, and she got distracted. But yeah, Soma, it's a
sci-fi horror game.
Yeah, but also philosophical horror game.
Yeah,
very much the difficult questions that sci-fi exists to ask.
Because it's an older game.
Yeah.
It's 2014 looking right now.
Yeah, 14 was what I was thinking.
It's single player though, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, 2015. It's actually on PS4 and Switch and Steam.
Interesting. I don't know. I'd be down to do something like that. Maybe like a week. I don't know if I'd do like a weekend stream. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be. I definitely am not opposed to doing some.
It's definitely you might want to think out loud while you're doing this, and
for sure.
What are these decisions I'm making, and what are the possible consequences thereof, and what's going on?
Yeah, and listen to Chad and pick the wrong things.
No, you got to do it. You just got to explain it, and be like, and then as more and more things get revealed, begin to realize that some of your decisions may be recontextualized.
Yeah,
definitely love those kind of games.
There's a couple of funny, well, I say funny, but jump scares, like survival horror games that I've wanted to play on stream. I just saw one that was like has these giant spiders on them, and I'm like, not that I have a problem with spiders, but I'm pretty sure whoever could be watching, if you have a problem, if you have like arachnophobia, probably wouldn't do this, but
no, some is more existential.
Good to see you, Jacob. Have a good night, brother.
You should play Repo with us sometime. We get a crew together. That's a fun, goofy
Repo is always fun. Yeah,
suspense game. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I played it a couple of times. I think late Wednesday nights.
Yeah, we did play it together. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Like ABF, you.
There's been
like
great
Leon
updates. So they've added a ton of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a game.
It's like a new game now. Yeah.
That's good to hear. I feel like it's a game you could always just sort of expand on. So, that'll do it for tonight's stream. Had a great time. Great talking about Secondhand Lions again. Just a movie everyone needs to see. If you haven't seen it and you're watching this on replay, definitely check out the movie for sure. I appreciate everyone in the chat for the super chats, stickers, etc. The subs, the likes. Every time you like the stream and you subscribe, you actually gain more masculinity to your soul.
Oh yeah, that's
you'll notice
that your testosterone levels increase.
Right.
You feel it right now.
Erectile dysfunction, no problem.
Cured.
Once
right.
Yep.
And the more it's like you get your weekly dose, right?
Yeah, you actually have to learn self-defense to keep the women off of you.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah. Absolutely true. Next week we're going to be talking about Gran Torino, as Box Office Brawler has jokingly spoiled, but he will be our first time guest on the show. So shall be
he's doing
interesting.
Galaxy Quest tomorrow.
Yeah. Look forward to giving him the speech.
Please, and watch Box Office Brawlers, Big Trouble in Little China stream.
Yeah, make sure you cover that and comment on his takes on that.
I'm gonna play those clips for him next week. Like, yeah, but what's that to do with the story? Oh, it's just for you.
Well, wait till tonight when he does Galaxy Quest.
Wow.
I will have to catch that after our primal stream.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be in that chat.
Yeah. We'll raid into him, and then I'll be in that chat.
Yeah, and then everybody better come in with the A game. Don't let him get away with shit.
Yeah, because that is a movie we will definitely cover here at some point in the future. Not sure when, but
Waylon is absolutely correct.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Good night, y'all. Remember, don't start by an old guy. You might get your ass kicked.
It's true.
Truer words have not been spoken. Yeah.
And he's probably killed better people than you.
Yep. 100%. So, let's see here. Do we want to play a clip on the way out?
The plea. Given the love with a passion.
Is that
plea
part
like
5? I think it was. No, we'll just play both back to back real quick, and then we'll end it.
Hug McCain. I fought in 2 world wars and countless smaller ones on 3 continents. I led thousands of men into battle with everything from horses and swords to artillery and tanks. I've seen the headwaters of the Nile and tribes of natives no white man had ever seen before.
My grip strength's only at a 5 right now. Wait till I go to an 11.
I've won and lost a dozen fortunes, killed many men, and loved only one woman with a passion a flea like you could never begin to understand. That's who I am. Now go.